Hello. You get one of you speak. There we go. Hey.
Live uncut.
Okay. Welcome to Heavyweight Gaming. I'm going to make the people bigger because they're only small on the camera. Welcome to Heavyweight Gaming. We are a RPG channel. We do lots of RPGs. Who knew? We are currently playing on a Friday Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. Basically, Short Rest Tavern. I've hijacked them so they can run this game on my channel to make me really popular. And I won't give them any of the subs we made tonight.
It's fair. It's fair.
What was I saying? Right, so social media. We're all over social media. Social media will be getting a lot more active over the next 6 months. I know that's a long time. But there are lots of things happening that I can't shout about until I get things on the dotted line. But they'll be all over social media. We are sponsored by Loke Battle Mats, who are amazing. Just write Loke Battle Mats in Facebook or Twitter or on DM's Guild. They basically do A3, A4, A5 flip out battle mats. You bang them out on the table, boom, you've got tundra, mountains, magic circles, towns, taverns. They've just done a wilderness one, which is exactly what it says on the tin. You've got vast forests and stuff like this, magical fairylands. It's amazing. They also, lucky for me, do the digital versions of all their work. So you could go buy it and use it on things like Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, or other virtual tabletops that you like to use. So go check out Loki Battle Mats. We have hundreds of sponsors throughout the channel. The rest of it, just go check them out. They'll pop up and all around the channel. But tonight is Loki Battle Mats. We use Syrinscape for all our background music. It is amazing. We're currently using the app that everyone downloads, and whoever's hosting the game plays some music, ambient sound, whatever from the Syrinscape sound set or sound collection. Everybody can hear it. It's really cool, so you can adjust your own volume and you don't have to rely on somebody else. Also works really well if you're playing online, creating a bit of ambience when you're dragon fighting, crawling through dungeons, or sat in a tavern. So go check out Syrinscape. Really, really cool. Really cool if you just have it at a table as well on a tablet playing out somewhere. Or get a soundbar, Bluetooth it through. It's beautiful. It's really smooth. It's cool. Spooky. Bits. If you throw 200 bits at the channel, sure, etc. Us players, we get a free reroll. We've got to use it this week. We can't carry it over. We can only have 5 at one time. We can't use them on the Dungeon Masters rolls or our Death Saving throws. And if you do, know now that you have our appreciation if we forget to thank you when it happens. If you do like homebrew content, we did a supplement, sourcebook, whatever, a couple of months ago now, called Tasha's Heavier Crockpot of Bits and Bobs. If you go to the DM's Guild, check it out. It's like $9 or $10. Like 200 copies have been sold. There's loads of input from many geeky friends for feats, spells, subclasses, stuff like this. Really, really cool. Really proud of it. And lots of our artistic friends threw in some of their own contributions as well. So thank you very much for those that have bought it. That's it for that. So, 2 mini announcements where more detail will come out during next week. 1, Heavyweight Gaming is 99% sure they're going to be at the UK Games Expo this year, which I believe is on the 17th of July. So if you go to the UK Games Expo, I think you'll have to double check on their site that their tickets are up for sale now. So go check out the UK Games Expo. It's at the NEC in Birmingham, so if you're local, jolly good. They have all the information you will require to know that you are going to be safe and well looked after and in an environment you can enjoy geeky stuff and feel safe. So go check out all the stuff they've got in place, and that'll be at the NEC Birmingham. I think it's July 17th, but I'll double check.
It was after my birthday.
Yay!
Just saying. Free tickets, if that would be nice.
We should have a heavyweight gaming panel there. So I will confirm all that next week. The other announcement is every single year we do a charity stream. A couple of years ago we did a 24-hour one-shot where I did a bit of homebrew. It was delightfully insane. And we raised $1,500 for a charity for Children's Birmingham Hospital. Last year we did a 49-hour stream, because why not? And we raised $2,500 for the Mind Charity, Rainbow Trust Charity, and Mermaids Charity, which deal with all 3 of them. Mind is mental health, Rainbow Trust is for the little ones, and Mermaids is for I'll probably PC gender confusion amongst youngsters. So it helps them through that period of their life. But yeah, so you could go check all them out, and we raised a few quid for it, which was really cool. This year, we're doing it for, is it just McIntyre or is it McIntyre Charity, right?
McIntyre Charity.
There you go. And so what we were going to do is we were going to grab one of the Wizard of Coast's modules. I'm going to have a little tweak of it, and we're going to do it from start to finish in one sitting, however long that may take. Right? So there'll be a bit of planning. The party has not yet been selected or announced or anything like this. Know that I'll be dungeon mastering because it's my channel and I want to do it. But yeah, so there'll be a link going out over the next couple of days.
Endurance D&D. It's like Le Mans.
Tomb of Annihilation.
24 D&D edition. Quick tag in, here's my D20. Go.
I think it's changed. Oh, Tony might be right, actually. We'll have a look. I'll confirm the dates because I'm now confused of dates. But I'll confirm the date for the UK. Are you on mute, Tony? Have you just looked that up now?
I'm currently looking at their website.
Oh, okay. So it's at the end of July, apparently. Tony has a visitor.
Is that ice cream?
You've got an ice cream? Absolute unprofessional bastard.
Where's ours, bastard?
What?
I
So
was being fancy with a smoothie, but
we will be doing this charity stream after Tony's sorted out his OnlyFans. For McIntyre, all right? And Ree, if you can give me a very quick blurb of what McIntyre does.
Yeah, so McIntyre is a charity that I work for. We work with disabled people from very, very young in schools, specialism schools, right until end of life, older sort of people, special educational needs and disabilities. Yeah, we do everything that you can think of. We do education, social care, end of life care, schools, etc. It's a very big charity, and it's really cool.
Brilliant. So watch out for details of that, and we'll be throwing out some links on all our shows and stuff, so you guys can, as you've done every year, throw a lot of money at a charity that needs some money. So
watch us descend into madness as we try and stay awake for 70 hours.
Right. So without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Roberto of the Dungeon Master of Shortwest Tavern, and he will let you know what we're doing tonight. All yours, Rob.
Hello, everyone. Yes. Welcome back to Shortwest Tavern invading Heavyweight Gaming on our lovely Friday night game, which is our modified version of Icewind, Rime with the Frostmaiden, the lovely campaign book by the lovely Wizard of the Coast. This is our campaign called Secrets Worth Dying For, which is a modified version of it. So if you're following along at home or running your own campaign, there might be a few differences, a few tweaks, a bit of artistic license, or just straight up shenanigans. But yep, that exists. And if you want to pick up a copy of that and run your own Icewind Dale campaign, have at it. We are going to do a quick recap, and then we're going to jump straight into tonight's session. Got lots to try, well, maybe lots to get through. We'll see. We're a little bit of a rare nicety in this campaign. You guys have recently returned back to where you originally set out. You returned back to the kind of pseudo self-proclaimed capital of 10 towns, Bryn Shandar, a walled market kind of hub in the center of all the other settlements, sadly falling into disrepair, and the market long since silent and still, as the magics of Auril keep the Dale itself locked in eternal nighttime and winter, where snow and ice and the lack of sun killed crops, has made hunting difficult, resources are harder, the 3 signature lakes of the area froze over, preventing fishing, and the people are falling on hard times. Poverty is creeping in. People have coin, but nothing to spend it on. So money's losing its worth. There's a lot of... It's getting close to breaking point. And this party came together under hard circumstances to track down a spree of killings, which they resolved, and they've managed to find themselves working closely with Speaker Daneth, the council speaker of East Haven, who shared some information, and they've had back and forth with the captain of the guard, Imdra, around activities, thefts, disruptions to normal town life, where they recently defeated a bunch of Duragar that were hiding on one of the frozen ferries, and recovered from a sea hag a cauldron of plenty, which, as East Haven was about to kind of snap or hitting its breaking point in poverty, the party donated it and left it with Speaker Daneth and the guard to distribute food around East Haven and further to hopefully offset some of the more pressing problems of the town and keep people fed and keep people alive, with a view to hopefully spread that around the valley and get things, a little bit less bleak than they were. After picking up some notes, you guys are returning to Bryn Shindar. You met a member of the Arcane Brotherhood, Valine Harpel, a skilled spellslinger who you met in a shady cabin outside of East Haven, asking for your help in recovering an artifact, a professor orb that she uses as a source of archived information, and seemingly pertaining to a lost Netherese city, an ancient city of long since, a people of long since passed, somewhere in the Dale, rumored to have world-changing power within. And is a bit of a tense alliance as you guys have headed out or have agreed to take on that errand. Not quite sure what to make of it just yet, but you've set out back to Bryn Shindar to start finding your next path. Last week we had quite a leisurely little stroll. You guys came in contact with a bunch of little elemental sprites, a group of Chewinga, and after some language barriers and some attempts to communicate with the creatures, Celine was gifted with a charm. Not sure its purpose or whether it's good or bad, but she has kept it with her. And you guys arrived back in Bryn Shindar. You approached the tavern, the North Look, I believe it was. I'll double check that. Yes, the North Look, where you had drinks, a little bit of food, what was left, and a bit of a nice hot bath, which was quite a luxury for a few of you, thanks to Gentle Steps' bonfire and the heated water. Got some well-deserved rest, as you guys had probably a good night's sleep, and probably the cleanest and most well-kept you've probably felt in several days. But today is a new day. Today is a new morning. The streets of Bryn Shindar are quiet. They are empty, save for a few people almost just walking around for walking around's sake. It's a shadow of its former self. The big center of town, the big trade district, it's just a solemn sight, used to the hustle and bustle of people, the hustle and bustle of trade, tourists, and kids and families in seeing what the wares were and street food and things. And it's been quiet for several months. But that's where we pick up. You guys are at the North Look, an old tourism tavern, long since again fallen into disrepair and ill use. There seems you had free use of the rooms and the stable yards out back. So it is morning. You guys come down from your respective rooms. The day is yours.
Thank you, Ruffworx.
I've just rolled for my Feywild after a long rest thing. I faintly smell of cinnamon, lavender, nutmeg, and other comforting herbs and spices.
So you smell like a pumpkin pie.
Like Starbucks.
Yeah, I smell fucking amazing.
Ice latte.
Pumpkin spice latte, the scent. Okay.
Lavender,
yeah, so you
maybe not.
So those who want to have come down, a few of you may still be in your rooms, but yeah, the tavern is empty. You were given pretty much free reign to stay, seemingly striking up a little bit of a knowing respect from the owner, who seemingly has a bit of an adventuring history about them. The day is young.
Sorry.
Morning, all.
Morning.
Morning. Do we think they do breakfast here?
They do ice cream.
I'd hope so. Where did you get ice cream from, Elquis?
some guy
I'll have to
outside who was
use-
ringing a bell.
It's just snow on a on a stick.
You mean a snow cone?
Guy ringing a bell, making a tune. I went out. I gave him a silver, and he gave me some coloured ice. It wasn't yellow.
Okay, right. Fire? Anyone?
A fire could be good.
You want a fire? Or fry it?
Fry up.
No,
Fry up.
I've had 2 already.
Good for you, but I haven't eaten yet and I'm hungry.
And then go and eat. Why do you need to ask?
Dale, would you like anything?
Yes. Unless you're going to
Fantastic.
give me the snack.
Roleplay.
If you're not going to give me the snack bag, then yes, I will have purchased
For
food.
your
What snack?
as a note, your magical rat pet has vanished.
The bag of tricks, the snack bag.
I'm not giving you the snack bag.
I will confirm the bag of tricks is not a pick and mix for eating.
It could be.
Liar.
That's not
You
your
are
choice,
just too
dear.
close-minded. Close-minded. I
3-hour montage of you guys eating a bag of animals.
I can't believe he swapped a dire wolf eventually for a rat. That wolf could have saved my legs all the way down here.
It was not my choice, Elkis. Chill.
It was. Definitely was. We had a panther.
But then was like, panther, or panther. I could have still had that direwolf, but no, you wanted to see what else was in it.
Can I take
Yeah,
another
then you
long
got a
rest?
rat.
I'll join you.
The film.
No,
Andrew
but
goes to the bar at this point because she's not willing to argue about this any longer. She goes to the bar looking for someone that's working.
There is no one there.
I'm on the bar and be like, hello! Really hungry. There doesn't seem to be a continental, so
There's a response. You don't seemingly no one there.
is there a way that I can get to the kitchen?
Yeah, there's literally the bar's not a built-in cage. You could walk around and get through into the back area.
I wasn't sure if it was like, oh no, like the kitchen is like locked
No,
or
it's
something.
so as you look, the bar itself is almost like a couple of tables. It's very makeshift. It's from the last session, so the bar itself is almost made to look like a bit of like a smuggler's den, like a rough back alley bar, while being like very not.
Not that.
Yeah, it's like the almost like playing up to that image of 10 towns to kind of attract tourism and trade back when business was booming. The bar itself, behind it, you see like a pantry area, and you assume the kitchen's through that way. You can see a few spare shelves.
Gonna go that way.
Okay.
I
So,
would
yeah,
like to look for something that I can build a nice breakfast with. Doesn't even have to be hearty, just
an
needs to
investigation.
taste really good. Okay.
Let's see what's for breakfast.
Well,
Not a vast amount of a lot of anything. There's a few.
Okay.
There's a few spoiled root vegetables that seemingly have been there a while. They've started kind of growing
extra root.
sprouts and roots and things. There is a pretty meager bag of grain and rice. There's
Is there
a
an
big.
egg?
Say again, sorry.
Is there an egg? Any eggs?
It's not an egg. There, it's. It doesn't. You could probably scrape together some basic carbs if you wanted to, but there's nothing particularly interesting.
What root vegetables are there?
The view. It's kind of like a turnipy Swede sort of thing.
Sweet.
Are we really doing this?
Apparently so.
Banned
Roll a
dressing
D8 for
montage.
root
So
veg.
now we're gonna have cooking.
If that parsnip's not a mimic, I'm on.
The parsnip is watching you.
Please
get
do
the
not
feeling-
joke about that. It's only just begun. I'm not down for that right
You're
now.
looking around, and from the general state of the place, as you came in yesterday, like only a couple of the tables are prepared. The rest are all kind of stacked up, almost like in storage, with it up against the wall. You get the feeling this place is not heavily used, does
Okay.
not have guests very frequently, and
I
hasn't
would
been
like-
resupplied in months.
I would like to make some form of like congee sort of thing, but with some boiled swede in it.
I'd say over the course of the next half an hour or so between you, those who wanted to, you do manage to pull some food together, and you do manage to get yourself at least some breakfast sorted.
Congee is the only thing that I can think of to make from very
It's
little
not-
that is in that pan.
Like I say, it's not brilliant. It's not, it's not the best thing you've ever had, but it will keep you alive for another day.
Should hope so. I'd hope that I've eaten in the past few days.
Like a Weatherspoon's breakfast. It does the job, but it's not great.
Yeah, okay. Can't argue with that.
We need to find out where Macredus lives, where we might find them. I don't know if there's like a place in Bryn Shindar that might be like the central, more of a hub than this kind of ghost town of a bar.
Yeah.
If we know like a town hall or anything like that on our way through.
My biggest question is right now is, and Adri turns to Jensen steps and go, "Why did you have a fry up? There was nothing in there."
There was. We had a good breakfast before I went out to get ice cream.
He said yesterday that it's not tourist season. Like they weren't even expecting to have anyone stay. So I'm not surprised the kitchen's not stocked.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Adri's just going to be salty for the rest of the day at the fact that all that she had was Swede porridge.
The porridge or sweet? What did you have? Yes, I remember. I had the chicken.
Oh,
Did we notice, Rob, anywhere that might be like a town hall or a centre, like a marketplace or town square or anything like that?
So there's a few places you've been past. There's the kind of central trade districts in the very centre. The Bryn Shindar is circular. It's a walled town, and right in the centre area is a massive trade market with everything from blacksmiths, stable yards, you name it, it's probably there. It's like a big, almost like a shopping centre equivalent. Most of that is barren. To the very south is where you found the kind of back alley bootleg bar that you stopped with and met the three dwarves who were camping out back. You are aware of a town hall in the trade district in the centre. It looks fairly derelict and run down. You're not sure if it's manned or if anyone's there. Currently, you're right at the north by the north gate, hence the name the North Look. The only other place that you're kind of aware of interest and that's been mentioned is the temple, the church. There is a church to Lathander, known as the House of the Morning Lord, in the northeast district.
If we're around there, if we're north anyway, should we check out the temple? They might be able to point us to Macredus.
Some townspeople tend to hang around blacksmiths as well because it's warm because of the forges.
I don't know if we'll be allowed in the blacksmiths again, to be honest, after last time.
They'll let us back in the blacksmiths.
You are aware, you have had mentioned to you that...
The blacksmiths are running cold for like 3 days.
No, the church often acted like a soup kitchen, or usually gave people a place, if they didn't have somewhere, at least a roof over their head, and acted as a bit of a community centre as well as a place of worship. You're not sure how busy it is, but that's what you were told last time.
Let's go and check it out then.
Temple.
Sorry, the dates and pistachios just kicked up on the audio.
Every time. He lives everywhere. He's
everywhere,
He's
isn't
in every realm.
he gets around, that guy, doesn't he? There are no dates and pistachios.
There is nothing in the tavern but it's dates and pistachios.
Out of date pistachios.
Out of date dates.
So you.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
You finish off your food. You put things back, as you found them, and left the bar in the same state of unkemptness as it was. And you make your way eastward by the inside of the gate. You can see, now that you're up against this kind of wooden balustrade that kind of encompasses the town, there are areas of rot, there's areas of plant growth, there's areas of kind of grayish lichens and weeds that have kind of started growing through. where the wood like sort of buries under the snow. You can see sort of just mildew and the wood starting to pull apart. It just doesn't look well kept. You don't see the usual town's militia. The guard posts seem empty. It just seems like a very rundown, and it's a sign of the times that it's just there's no reason to, there's no resource, there's no people are conserving what they have, and anything not essential is falling by the wayside. It doesn't take you too long. Probably takes about 10 minutes or so, and you see the top of the kind of spire top, 2-story building with the kind of stylized icon of a sun cresting above the door in kind of this crudely polished metal. Doesn't look particularly valuable, and you can see a lot of the scratch marks where it's kind of been roughly buffed out and hung there. But you do find the house of the Morning Lord. The big 2 double doors propped open, and you can see a couple of hooded people just making their way out of the building and heading towards the center of town. Other than that, things seem pretty quiet, but the house of the Morning Lord is there in front of you.
Is the door like
gravy
open,
time.
or does it look like there's anyone? Like, how early is it? I don't want to barge in if it's super
I'd say
early.
early morning. If you're doing breakfast and you've been sorting bits out, I'd say mid-morning, early morning.
Okay. I'll go up and try the door then.
The doors are open. The doors are literally propped open.
Oh, they're propped open. Walk inside them.
Okay. So it's a very simple temple. There's not a lot of decorative elements. There doesn't seem to be much riches involved with it. You can see that reoccurring kind of sun motif displayed crudely within. There's a bunch of mismatched kind of rough-hewn wooden furniture, benches, the occasional bookcases, tables, side. It's all very. Looks like it's been put together by not the most skilled craftsmen. You do see a number of people kind of huddling in a corner, basically trying to take shelter inside. You do see in the opposite side a stone staircase, a spiral staircase that's kind of these stone flagons held together on a timber frame that then disappears up onto the second floor. And you do spot what you look kind of in a religious priestly robes, as you were like these mid-grey robes pulled around, and they're currently busy themselves moving around, kind of straightening up benches and lighting what few candles are in there, kind of moving around. Looks like they're tidying up and getting ready for the day.
I will approach them and introduce myself.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. My name is Vale. These are my friends, Elkis, Gentle Steps, and Adri, and Celine. We are hoping that you could give us some information about someone that we believe lives in Bryn Shandar.
It's a bit of an odd request to be asking where people live, but please, just take a seat over here. She'll lead you to the corner away from the people who are already in there, in kind of a bit of a secluded area. There's a couple of similar kind of rough-hewn chairs and kind of like almost like a little speaking group area up against one side, and takes a seat and gestures to the remaining chairs for you guys to sit down.
I'll sit down.
I shall stay stood.
I too shall remain standing.
I'm gonna take a seat. Yeah, why not?
So, seeking souls out, are we? If I may, what's the purpose behind this? Why do you seek the person out?
We believe they had something to do, well, that they were sort of the primary person in mapping 10 towns. Macredis, we were hoping to ask some questions about their journeys as they mapped the area, and a map that we have, actually. We'd like them to look at it.
Seems an odd time of the year. It's to be looking for map makers. I'm sure I've seen a few of you around. Are you not local?
Not to 10 towns I am, yes, not to Brynch and Dar. I'm from Kerkonig.
You can tell.
The snow.
Not really.
No.
Sure.
And she kind of brushes the hair off of her face that's kind of loosely tied up, and it's not particularly well kept, but it's pleasant enough. A little bit younger than maybe you would have expected. And as you brush the hair back, you can see kind of it looks human in nature. There's a couple, the hair's you see a bit more defined cheekbones, smooth. There's no wrinkles creeping in. Probably somewhere in her late 20s, you would guess at most. And has these, like, say, simple, like, off greyish robes, and then a simple pendant of lavender around the neck. This simple kind of, it looks almost carved from either ivory or bone or something. This six-pointed sun emblem.
How long have you been spreading the morning glory to people?
Every morning.
It's not fortunately in these parts there's not a huge appetite for religion or people seeking the light. Those few that did seemingly have lost their way of recent times. Doesn't seem to be the same belief anymore. I'm afraid these days it's more roof over people's heads, a meal to keep them going.
Yeah, I was brought up under saloon myself, and there's not many people following them around either.
Let's not forget the light of the Morning Lord can find its way into people's lives, whether or not they seek them out. I'm sure your following and your teaching is similar. Sometimes deities, gods, you can affect our lives.
What's the difference?
Between
a deity and a god?
Semantics, I presume.
What are the semantics?
You got any parsnips?
Do not have any parsnips, no.
Have you heard of anyone called Macredus?
A knife. Got any parsnips? Macredus. I know the man. Yes.
Is he still around? Is he still local? Is he still alive?
As far as I'm aware, he's alive. I've not seen them for some time. They used to spend a lot of time here upstairs with Copper. I think they work together in contraptions or whatever nonsense they were working on up there, making
Who's
rackets.
Copper?
Sorry?
Who's Copper?
Copper is a rock gnome who uses the space, or the attic space here at the church. We've had the space empty for years, and they needed a place to store equipment. Needed the large open plan, and we came to an agreement, and they've been here since. Not sure
Cool.
exactly.
What kind of stuff do they? You don't know what they make or what he's doing.
Not the foggiest, I'm afraid. No, it's clanging, the occasional late night working. Despite everything that's going on, they seem to be up all hours of the day, working as fervently as ever. They often had long discussions. A lot went over my head of contraptions and devices and magics and aiming for the stars, I think, that pair, but I haven't seen Macredus here for at least over a 10-day now.
Do they live around here still in Brynch and Dar, do you know? Where do they take residence if they're not up here working?
I never asked, to be honest with you. It's not, don't really mean to pry. They offer a small donation to the church to use the space upstairs, and As long as they're causing no harm. Didn't really ask beyond that.
Does Copper live upstairs? Are they there now?
As far as I'm aware, didn't see them leave this morning.
Do you mind if we pop up? Maybe they'll know where to find Macredus.
By all means, I do. Word of warning: they are a little bit eccentric, and focus seems to be a little bit hit and miss at times. But if you're able to get any sense out of them, by all means, you're more than welcome to pop upstairs.
Thank you. And I'll just walk towards the stairs. I've never been more on a mission than find this map guy.
Just please don't cause any trouble here. We have enough problems without disruption. I'm taking on good faith that your intentions are good. Please don't misplace that.
We won't. Just gonna give Adri a very stern look.
She's just gonna sit on her hands. Just.
I am looking at Adri's hands up in under her butt and seeing if they're smoking. If their boots are smoking.
Pants on fire.
Audrey just burst into flame for no particular reason.
Warlock in a temple. It's not a
spontaneously combusts.
But doesn't that make you question whether this is an actual temple or not? No consecrated ground, just saying.
You didn't know that.
I can't see any smoke, so I'm going to go follow Vale.
Well, I'll see you a little bit later then, as you once your visit to Copper has ended.
Right, thank you.
Just nods her head curtly, and I'll watch as you head. I'm guessing you're heading up the stairs.
Yes.
Okay. So the spiral staircase kind of circles twice around, and the ceilings are fairly tall. You took the sort of 20, 25 foot of the main lower floor of the temple. And as you emerge in the attic space, a couple of things that catch you off guard. One, it's really dark. Two, the ceilings are really low. Gentle steps, you're kind of crouched very much up against the roof space if you go up. It's when they say attic space, it's very much kind of the angled, triangular shaped attic space. And it is absolutely chock full of just... It's almost like a scrap yard. There are just broken bits of furniture. There are just pieces of carts, old canvases from market stalls. You see a couple of old shop signs in various states of being pieced down. There's a stack of glass bottles in one area. There's a stack of metal fixtures and fittings in another. There's timber in another. It seems everything has a place that makes no sense to anyone but whoever put it there. You have this mixture of a smell of kind of like oil and this sort of acidic thing that kind of just stings back your nose just a little bit as you come up here. And you hear some clanking down at the far end, like metal against metal.
I have dark vision to 60 feet.
It's not so dark you can't see, it's just very enclosed in, and there's no lights in the windows. There's a couple of the whale oil lanterns kind of casting these odd shadows against the weird angled kind of wooden braced roof.
I assume there's nowhere for me to hide, but can I move quietly?
Yeah, make a stealth check.
I tried to move quietly.
25.
Ow.
Considering the circumstances, you're surprised by how quiet you can be. There's not a lot of space for somebody of your size to move around freely in this space. It's very cramped. There's a lot of stuff, a billion things to knock over, and very carefully. There's a couple of very close calls, like knocking and whoa, catching the bottle as it wobbles. You're pretty confident you can move around here without too much of a problem. You move your head down towards the end, and you see it's a very odd image. You see a small creature. You just see this bulbous nose and kind of a shock of this So a small creature with a bulbous nose and this kind of shock of blonde hair creeping out from a set of furs. The furs are almost like a ski suit, like fur-lined boots, trousers, jacket, and hood up. And like at first glance, it's almost like an oversized teddy bear, like sort of impression. These brown and grey furs just all over with just this tiny little face, shock of blonde hair at the top, and the nose in the middle. Seemingly
I like them.
Seemingly does not hear or see you. You can see they're currently hammering away at an old pub sign or an old tavern sign and kind of separating the metal fittings from the wood.
Do you need a hand?
Sorry, Jenna, so that's what you...
I was going to say I'm going to wait to see what this lot do, but then Elkis started speaking.
Okay. Sorry, Elkis, you said...
Do you need a hand?
What? Who are you? What are you doing here?
I'm Elkis. I've come to see Copper.
I'm Copper. What are you doing on my roof?
Come to see you.
Why?
I was told you know things.
I guess I know some things. Why are you in my roof?
To see you, because you know some things. Do you know some map maker guy? Do you make maps? Do you
Don't make maps. Don't make maps. I unmake things. I take things and make them backwards. I guess. Make them into smaller things.
You break things.
Not break things. They still work. It's putting things in useful, taking things that are broken and making them into useful things, so then people can make other things from them.
I break things as well.
Say it's not breaking things. It's unmaking things. It's making things backwards.
Makes sense to me. Who are we looking for again? Vale?
Who are you talking to? Who else is in here?
Vale. This is Vale.
Hello.
Rod Seal. Who else is in here? Vale. This is Vale.
Just gonna smile a bit too, like maniacally with the teeth.
It's weird because it's very rare Elkis talks to something at eye-to-eye level.
I like this person.
And now you have Elkis and this tiny fur-adorned tiny rock gnome just looking up at you and just looks a mixture of bewildered, terrified, and then curious in rapid succession.
Macredus, Elkis. We're looking for Macredus.
Oh, Macredus, Copper. We're looking for Macredus.
What do you want with Macredus?
He made a map.
He makes lots of maps. That's what he does. He makes maps. He makes them. He draws them, and then goes out and finds more places to put on them.
We want to talk to him about a map he has made.
He's made lots of maps. What map is it?
A map of.
We have the map to show him.
I mean, he's not here at the moment. He's gone. I guess he's said he was staying.
So is he dead? Andrew just shouts from the back of everything.
How many people are in my roof?
Oh, this is Adra. That's Adri over there.
I just love that. Is he dead? From the back of the room.
I can appreciate people sneaking around my house.
Oh, there's no sneaking. I've been told I can't sneak.
Got all that equipment on you. It can't be that easy to move around quietly, surely.
No, I've been told that. I'm a bit loud.
If you take all that plate off, you'd be quieter.
Yeah, but then people could hit me.
If you move fast.
You Elkis.
Do you need help on making that?
Nah, I think I got it.
I've got a hammer.
If you don't mind, I kind of like doing it myself because then once I've unmade it into the parts, if I need to remake it again, I can put it back together the same way because I know how it came apart.
Have you made it cool?
A few things. It's been difficult without Macredus here. He's kind of the Used to, like when they draw maps, it's like where things are out in the world, right? It's like pictures of out there.
Yep.
Kind of drew like pictures of things that needed making as well, and it's like you had these books full of pictures of kind of maps of things rather than places. I used to make things on those maps.
Adri's a big reader. Maybe they could help with the mapping inside stuff.
I mean, he's got all the bits
Speaking
and pieces
of Macreadis.
with them. It's been difficult to make anything without the books.
The books?
The pictures, the maps of things.
Oh, the ones that Macreadis makes.
Yeah, like
We could go find him for you.
I know where he is. He just doesn't want to come anywhere. He wants to stay there all the time and fumble over whatever it is he was doing.
I'm good at talking to people. We could go talk to him.
Where is he?
Talk to him about what?
Well, about coming to help you and about our map. It's like two birds, one rock.
What's wrong with your map? Does it not work? You
It's
just look
got-
at it.
Someone else scribbled on it. Don't you hate when people do that?
Can you just not get a new one?
Well, we could maybe if Macreadis will help us.
You can buy them. Got a few round here if you need a new map.
Well, I kind of want to know which bits are scribbled on and which bits are Macreadis.
If you give me a silver coin, I can give you one of these new maps and you can have a look and see what it looked like before somebody scribbled on it.
Yeah, I'll give you a silver.
We
I'll
know
give you
what
a
it
gold
looked
if you
like
tell.
before.
I'll give you a gold if you tell us where Macready is as well, and we'll have a word with him about coming to help you out.
Why is it you want him to... What's so important about these map scribbles? If someone's ruined your map, you just get rid of it and get a new one, surely. Why do you need him for that?
It might be something he's not discovered. He might like it. It's like when you take something apart and find something surprising.
I'm not sure. He's pretty good at knowing where things are. It's not many places that he doesn't know of.
So where's Macreadis then?
Told you, he's out. He's not here.
Where's out?
Oh, where?
Out at his cabin.
Where's his cabin?
I'm just going to tell you where he is. He doesn't want to be disturbed. He wants to stay there. He wants to be left alone.
I'm going to disturb your head in a minute if you don't tell us where his cabin is.
Make an intimidation check.
Please, 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 please,
Can I,
please, be good to me.
With disadvantage.
Can I step forwards and go, boo?
Definitely with disadvantage. 13.
14.
14. Kind of takes a step back and grabs a bunch of like shrapnel basic in each hand and just kind of backs up against the walls like, what do you want with Macreadis? You could... Don't think I want you in this roof anymore. You should leave me alone.
I want to tell him how much I idolize his work and that I would like to learn from him. Just like my friend there said, I'm a big reader. I would also like to go into cartography. He is one of the best, if not the best, in the entirety of 10 towns. I just want to know where he is and learn some shit, and then we can leave you alone and you can keep constructing stuff.
Make a deception check. And if I give you double disadvantage, I'd be asking for double disadvantage.
16. I'm disadvantaged.
Look, you don't want to be disturbed, all right? He's working on something really important, and enough that he didn't want to come back. It's dangerous out there, and it's less people traveling. There's less people and adventurers and mercenaries and guards, and there's lots of scary things out there. I didn't want him staying on his own, and I asked him to come back, and he said no. He said he was going to stay, and now I haven't seen him in ages. I don't know where he is.
We're adventurers. We can make sure he's all right. I've got a big hammer. If there's anything scary on the road, I'll hit it.
What's so important about this map?
It has. We acquired it from people that we believe are, well, we know to not be friendly. They
Okay.
have written over this map and they've put new locations on it. We want to know from him what he might know about these locations, as they were not previously on his version of the map. But he might know something about them. There might be a reason that they're not on the map. We really want to know if they exist. It's really important for the whole of 10 Towns at this point that we speak to Macredus, and we're able to put this to rest.
I mean, that makes sense, I guess. And he does know a lot about the places, and I guess if you want to know what somebody's added to it, I mean, you might get jealous if he works really hard on finding all these places. If somebody else has found a place that he hasn't found and added it onto one of his maps before he was able to add it, it might...
This place is... We think this place might be dangerous. Macredus might know about this place. He might not have put it on the map on purpose. So
I'm laughing at Hannah, not you. I can feel how annoyed Anna is getting through the wall, through the internet.
It's all Andrew at this point.
He said he didn't want to be disturbed, though. I don't think
he'll want to know about this, trust me.
I mean, can you tell him to come back? Can you tell him to bring his work and do it here in town at least, so he's around people and not out on their own?
We'll escort him.
We can certainly try.
I mean, it'll annoy him, but at least I'll know he's all right, I guess. Look, fine. But do you know much around the mountain, around mining areas? Where the dwarves are, the mountain and the hills?
I would say yes, Vale does, Rob.
You've got a pretty good idea. Look, you said pass me a map. You said you've got one. Someone scribbled on.
I'll get out the plain map that we have and my cartographer's tools that I've just seen that I have, and ask him to sort of plot and point out.
It's just a pencil.
Yeah. Sextant and a pencil. Yeah, and just ask him to sort of point out where he is. The plain map, not the scribbled map.
All right, so I need my map now. Give me a sec. Uno momento.
Whale's just going to turn around and make like breathing Adri, like.
Right, so
Breathing? I'm fine.
if you head out north from town, and before you get to Targus, you turn right. If you follow this path up here, it goes past Mare Dalden, the lake where Tourmaline is. Before you get there, and he points to a kind of an area of the map, leave the path, head towards the mountain, straight line, straight as you can. Sometimes the weather gets pretty bad out there, but straight line towards the mountain. As long as the mountain's in front of you, you'll be fine. Just keep heading towards that mountain. And after about maybe an hour, you should see it. It's on the edge of this gorge. There's a big drop on one side. It goes down and overlooks a valley. You'll see it perched up on the edge. It's dark, like, or like, it looks almost black against the snow. It stands out if you know what you're looking for.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, Copper.
Look, don't tell him I sent you. Just, in fact, tell him I'm worried about him and I want him to come back. Like, it's a bit boring here just doing all this by myself. It was better when there's the two of us.
Hopefully what we have to tell him and show him will maybe put at rest. I mean, I have a feeling that what he is out there doing is going to have something to do with what we're also trying to do. So hopefully we can help each other. Well, maybe showing him this map might give him more of a clue of what he's doing or something like that. And hopefully then we can convince him to come back. Either way, we'll do our best.
Copperhead, I like to hit things with my hammer. Do you have anything special that is better than a hammer? Do you make things that can hit things with?
They make weapons. The blacksmiths kind of do that. I don't really need a big hammer to break things in. I need to break things carefully, like make them backwards. Like I say, it's more like you break it gently.
I just wondered if you made fancier weapons, not so much just big blown wacky sticks, but I don't know. Do you make anything nice that would be quite good for us? Is that what you'd like to show us? Can I see anything in the room that's interesting?
Can an investigation check?
Yeah, I get to roll my new dice.
Cover your ears.
It's actually scaled. Tony's actually the size of a goblin, and the dice is a normal d20.
Just rock my table.
Just fudge smash the hole through a table.
12.
Window breaker.
It's made of lead. 12. There is
-1, 11.
There's a lot of stuff in here. At a glance, it's going to be very hard to discern what's stuff, what's useful stuff, what's just equipment, what it is. There's lots of things. You'd have to go through it, take a bit more time. You'd have to root through to determine whether or not it's useful. It's almost like a bit of a hoarding situation going on.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Look, I mean, I used to make a few bits and pieces for a few old adventurers years ago. Made some stuff for Trovus back in the day. Yeah, we met Trovus, big dragon guy.
Yeah.
Talks funny and wobbles around a little bit.
Yeah, he made Celine's armor that makes the boobs glow when there's dragons around.
I'll have to give him some advice because that seems a bit weird. But look, I'll have a look and see if I've got any bits and pieces. I might have some stuff around here. It's probably going to take me a bit of time to go through all this. I've got to finish this off as well.
Yeah. Well,
once you bring McCreadus back, I'm sure he'll know where some stuff is. He knows the organisation a bit more than I do. He knows what's where and what does what. I can have a look and maybe see if there's anything. I don't know.
Yep, we can do that.
Still like death white knuckle on like a pair of like just random chair leg in one hand and like a weird odd shaped wrench in the other.
I like him. Shall we go?
Aye.
Think Ewok with a gnome face, and you're probably in the right ballpark.
It's wicked.
Half price Wookiees.
Yeah, this is just like it's almost now that you're closing next to me, it's almost like a onesie. It's like a mixture of patchwork furs that's just like
Steady
made
on,
into
steady.
all over. It's just like just the face.
I know why you stay in this church now.
It's warm. Space is good. I don't need much. It's fine. The lady downstairs is nice to us. It's keeps me busy.
Well, we'll go get your friend.
Bye. And then I'll leave.
Following.
Just kind of stands there, kind of taking it all in for a few seconds. You guys kind of leave, just leaving this poor gnome a little bit bewildered.
As Vale walks out, she'll be the last one out, and she'll just place, like, without turning round, she'll reach into the pocket and place a silver
in his face.
bow. No, a silver just on the nearest surface as she walks out the door, without looking back.
Slight bond.
As you do that, you already hear the tang 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 as the hammering continues behind you.
Is there a handrail on the staircase?
Nope. It's just like a wooden frame with just stone like wedged in against it, and wooden wedges underneath each one.
Damn.
It's pretty treacherous, to be fair, but it's not.
Deck save worthy.
Okay, I'll walk down it.
Onwards.
Yep.
To glory.
Okay, I'll walk.
Let's go find this place. We don't need to visit blacksmiths or anything before we go.
Okay, so were you looking for a handrail by any chance? I seen that look in your eye. The handrail looking eye.
Classic handrail look. Only if you're proficient with your eyes. That's a feat you have to
I'm
take.
just going to turn round on the stairs and just, like you do to children, just open your eyes and go, come on.
You want me to jump?
Elkis, not you.
I look at Vale, I'm like,
You want me to jump in my
oh, because you made
You're
me to
lost.
heal. You made it to heal Vale.
So you make your way to the downstairs, David. You can see now there's a few more kind of groups of kind of downtrodden looking townsfolk, and you see the lady you spoke to earlier kind of bustling between them, just kind of making small talk with the group. And there's a few small kind of blankets shared amongst groups. It just seems a lot of people.
If any of them come close, can I sleight of hand a silver coin in their pocket?
None of them are really moving around. As you guys would have to, like, you walk down the center. They're kind of scattered in little groups. You could, you could.
It's only if like I'm not going out my way. It's more a.
You'd have to kind of make the effort to go off to a group, should you would.
I'll just skim one. Fuck
yeah. It lands in their pocket from 30 yards out. Crit. Oh god. Improvised weapon there. Yes. As you guys make your way out of you hear the young lady just kind of look up from a group.
Thank you.
It's like, I hope. Did you find what you needed?
No.
Oh, that's a shout. Copper can be a little bit eccentric, as I'm sure you're aware. I hope they weren't too much trouble.
He's cool.
Stay safe on your travels, and I wish you well.
Bye.
May the morning Lord watch over you. May the sun be returned.
Well.
What happens at night?
The morning Lord probably has his ways, and despite the no sun in the sky, probably has their ways of keeping an eye on us all.
Oh, okay. Thought he was good. Okay. Bye. I don't know where I'm walking, but I've walked away from the temple.
Just walking into the wrong
sunset.
Hi, as we just stand there.
Yeah, don't leave.
With the gold coin, put it near the lady and just walk out.
So tempted to pick up that coin. Follow.
Right, you find yourselves.
Elkis is just taking the coins that I'm
following you around like, yes, it's fucking brilliant.
Hey, look, that's a treasure.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Oh, there's a. I forgot to change the sound over. Oh.
So we go north up to our polar bears, but we don't go quite there. We turn right and go down to Goblin Fight Land, and carry on from there.
Yeah.
Do I remember this right?
We go where the map says, and I'll hold up the map. And
you look, and the notes that Copper's added it's really well done. Like, the handwriting's immaculate, the lines are crisp, and the directions are strikingly clear.
Wow, he's good.
If he is Macredus, to God. But I will, follow his
ideas I wish I'd had.
Go to this place. There is just a note saying "losers."
Got him.
He just turns up there.
Lol, 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 turn over. Lol, lol, lol.
Well, Aiden's just had an idea for his own game.
Yeah. No, but you've got that brief bit of kind of twilightish glimmer of brightness starting to try to battle through the grey clouds above. You get the feeling it's probably starting to drift towards midday, maybe late morning at this stage. Based on the map, you're probably looking at a good day and a half travel.
We could at least get the half out today and then all day tomorrow.
Well, it's still morning, isn't it? We had breakfast, we came to church, we didn't speak to Copper for 6 hours.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no reason for us not to set off now. So.
Yeah. Adri, can I pick a pet and see if I get a mount?
Okay, there's one time.
Yes.
We'll be back in 2 seconds.
I reach
so wonderfully well.
I
Tell
open
me-
up the grey bag of tricks. But
Please-
I still hold on to it. I just open it up.
Elkis, could you please roll for me a 1d8?
Ooh, a D8. Come on, Elkis, Direwolf. A 5.
Okay. You pull out of the bag a small kind of this shapeless, matted, like almost fur. It's almost like a fur, like something a cat's coughed up. It's this kind of matted fur that you
Tribble.
throw onto the floor. And there's a flash of this kind of grey, smoky energy. And there is the similar feline panther creature from the previous night.
Ooh, battle cat.
And it kind of walks around. Whereas before it kind of like slinked around Vale's legs, to you, it kind of looks down on you and just kind of like moves around you. And you're kind of standing on like the same sort of height level as it. And it kind of looks around and kind of then like sits back onto its hind legs and kind of just looks expectantly towards you.
I'm going to call you Schnarf. Can I ride you?
Just kind of looks at you. Doesn't seem to be a response.
Am I doing this right, Adra?
I guess. I think. Probably. I don't know.
I'm going to try and climb onto the back of Schnarf.
Make an animal handling check.
Oh.
I'll say with advantage because it is your magically constructed pet.
This went so well
What do
with
we
a
get?
dog.
Panther.
Ooh. That would be a 19.
Cousin Steve.
Cousin Steve. Oh, God. I forgot about that. Hey, I haven't seen you since the wedding. How are you? 19. Surprisingly, despite your armor and your general stature, you do manage to hoist yourself up onto the back of the creature. The creature doesn't resist. There is no saddle, there are no reins, but you are currently perched. Kind of grabs a handful of fur on the back of Cousin Steve.
I feel like today is going to be a good day. Tally ho!
Who was
Andrew
that
is
man?
gonna-
I know, Silver, away!
He's gonna look at the panther and just think to himself, like, I could end that. He could just go crash onto his ass. And she just kind of slowly reaches to the bag of tricks and was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. Not yet.
Wait till it gets to full run speed. Fuck!
Just kind of like puts it back into her satchel.
Hits him so hard he goes down a level. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit precarious. It's a little bit ropey. The creature just kind of pads forward at a kind of walking pace, keeping up with the rest of the party, and you have to kind of clutch on to like handfuls of fur, and it doesn't seem to mind. You just got to do that now on the camera for the rest of the journey.
Yoga ball chair.
It's okay. We're not going to judge that it's not fine.
What's the plan?
I'm just gonna start following the map.
The panther.
You look at the map and following direction, it is almost a shallow kind of U. Like you're heading north out towards Targus and almost doubling back a little bit further on. You reckon you could get it down to a day if you were to just go off the path and go cross country.
We have the age-old option, guys, of cross-country to cut down time or more time, but on paths.
Well,
After the last avalanche, I think path.
The avalanche was on a mountain. Like that's not. I don't think that was us choosing to not be on paths.
They don't really happen on flat floor.
Not in my experience as a mountaineer, no.
Not unless the snow person is a mimic.
I've never seen a flat avalanche either.
This was not the question.
Andrew just slowly reaches for the grey bag of tricks again.
I'm easy. I will, whatever. You want to go the road, Adrius?
I would say that'd probably be the safest option.
Celine?
Yes.
So that's Celine for the road as well. Elkis?
I'm good for cross country.
Vale?
Cousin Steve here can help.
Not for long.
Either makes no difference to me.
Cool, we'll go on the road.
Okay.
Steve? Wow.
That's well-known panther noise.
Strong. Strong.
Give massive biscuits.
Better.
I can see!
I want
Like
to
it's in the
walk on,
room.
walk on all fours to challenge Steve to a race.
So it's better me, I'm
Family tradition.
Alkis trying to hang on for dear life while you race.
Yeah. Ah, shit.
I'm just trying to change the soundtrack and having a massive problem doing it. There we go. I think I've got it.
Has it gone past 10?
No.
It is
It's 20 past 9.
21:20.
There we go. Okay. So, you take the familiar journey. It's a little bit of deja vu as you head from Rinchendar across the westward facing roads to Targus once more. The weather is clear by 10 town standard. There is that little bit of like that false hope of just a little bit of light almost breaking through the cloud above. There's just endless expanse of white ahead of you. Fresh snow, undisturbed, just stretching out. You spend the afternoon traveling westward, and then when you get to the T-junction that splits off, you can see right at the very distance the wall area of Targus. Down the shallow incline over the course of miles, you see the very sort of glint in the distance, like this little dark outline of the town. And you bear right, and you start heading northward across the trade road, again a road you've traveled before, towards the area marked on the map. You starts reaching the kind of twilight fades into night, and you've been walking for some time. What rations and food and bits pieces you have keep you going, small talk, and it's as far as walks go, it drags on a little bit, and eventually you do come to an area where there is kind of a natural break in the rock, and it matches some small notes and some small annotations that Copper made to your map. And as you turn and look, you can see the very imposing silhouette of Calvin's cairn far in the distance. It is starting to draw to evening. At this point, you'd have to break away from the path, and if you were to follow the instructions, you'd be heading cross country towards Calvin's cairn if you want to keep that in the center of your vision. But like I say, it's getting dark. It is approaching night time. Are you guys planning on stopping for the evening, or are you pushing through into the night?
I say we stop for the night. Are we in like a horrific rush?
We'll stop. We don't want to be pushing through the night. The temperature drops far too low.
Like so, you're currently on the trade. You're currently on the trade route in between Targus and Tourmaline. Behind you, you can see you're on kind of the crest of the hill there, like area, and you can look down. You almost see like the rolling hills just kind of disappearing down, and you almost see, well, you do see the very faint glint in the distance of what little moonlight comes through of the lake far below. You'll recognize this area probably a little bit more than most, Ardry, as on the bank of that lake is Lonelywood. It's probably been some time since you were back home, and it's kind of a little bit of a pang of homesickness as you kind of see the lake that you're familiar with, and the, you know, somewhere in the darkness beyond are what's left of the trees and the forest area of what Lonelywood takes its namesake. So you stopping for the evening. You're currently on the path, or just off the path, kind of halfway between Targus and Tourmaline. What's your plans for your evenings?
Move off the path slightly and make a camp. Probably not good to be on the main trade route. That's just asking for trouble.
Very true.
And how are you planning on making camp? With what? What's your plans on what you're doing to keep yourselves sheltered, warm?
I can create fire continuously.
Yeah. Gentle steps, man make fire.
Catherine's just gonna sit there, give someone else a cloak. I was saying this like, well, blah, but you know.
So you guys have currently stopped. You kind of go, yep, we're gonna make camp. What is your plan? What have you got with you? What are you making camp with?
Our adventuring supplies we've had for the last 15 sessions, so tents, blankets, everything we made camp with every other time we stayed out in the
last time you camped out, you made little ice shelters, if I remember rightly.
That's once.
One time. We are not that smart. Twice.
Okay, so
we will make little ice shelters. I will continuously keep a fire going, and then we will pass it over to non-magical means, as I need to concentrate on it.
So you set up for the evening, a few yards off of the path, to kind of dig out space in the snow. You pull together your canvases, your lean-tos, your tents, your igloos between the 5 of you. The fire helps much more than last time you were out here, where you weren't struggling against the wind and the kind of pre-blizzard conditions. It's a still night. It's quiet. And yeah, the fire is lit. And we will... Audrey's just vanished for a second. Does anyone want to do anything specific or anything before you retire for the evening and before you take watch?
I was gonna say set up a watch. Other than that,
okay.
No.
If
I imagine cousin Steve's gonna disappear. So bye, Steve.
So if anyone, so if anyone doesn't have any specific plans, you prepare for the evening. You set up your shelters. You set up the fire. Are you planning on keeping the fire burning overnight?
I'll keep it going as long as I'm on watch, and then when I pass over, we will need to actually have things to burn.
Sure. Okay.
Which we obviously grabbed on the way out of town.
100%. Yeah, I'm sure I mentioned stopping and getting some firewood.
So, before we take our watches, before we go into that, we'll jump on and take our break. Good little break point. We will pick up part 2 and the see if what shenanigans happen overnight as you guys camp on a hill with a fire raging, or a fire
5-foot bonfire
lighting you up like a beacon. See if that attracts anyone's attention, and see if you find Atreus' cabin in the morning.
And we shall return with a Celine. Dun, dun, dun. We haven't told yet.
So,
she died.
Thank you very much, good people in the chat. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for your viewership. Hopefully you've enjoyed the first part, where we've met some fun NPCs. If you haven't already, drop us a follow on Twitch. Look at Heavyweight Gaming on social media. Like, follow, share, subscribe, friend, whatever it is on that particular platform. Helps us out loads. And yeah, we'll take a quick 15 minutes. Not a slow 15 minutes. They are different. And we're going to be back to continue the second half of, I believe, is this episode 15? I want to say episode 15.
I think it's 16.
16. So yeah, we'll jump back in and we'll continue the second half of tonight's episode of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Because every
welcome back to part 2 of Heavyweight Gaming.
You kill my
We've
character
all
in
had a
one
break.
shot. I
They're
can
still
kill your characters in
talking.
both
Rob's still
campaigns.
talking.
You're
He's not
muted,
clicked. I'm
I
muted.
can't hear you.
Rob.
Welcome
It'd be shame-
back
it'd be
to the
shame
channel.
Audrey,
Rob.
irony.
Rob. Welcome back to part 2 of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden.
We're totally not thinking
We're
about
having
just like, proverbially murdering our
virtual
characters,
baby.
but it's fine.
Jesus Christ. Right, anyway,
All right.
we're back.
Cool.
Oh, no. What is going on? Can everyone still
If
see
there's
the
a
screen?
TPK
There
now,
we go,
audience,
we can.
you know why.
He's broke
How long have we been back?
4.5
seconds.
minutes. So, welcome back. We're going to carry on with Icewind Dale, Rime with the Frostmaiden. We've had a little campfire, and Roberto's going to tell us what's attacking us. Go. Oh, no, we've got an Ange. We've got an Ange. Hello, Celine.
Hi. I am here. I'm alive.
So, yeah. So, you guys are resting up for the night. You've built your little shelters. You've got your tents, your lean-tos. The fire is kept roaring. A mixture
It's
of gentle
gravy
stepses,
time.
magics, and then what small amounts of flammable materials you've got with you. But you do, the fire looks like it's going to last through if the weather stays good. So far, it's a clear night, and it's a lot more comfortable than last time you guys nearly froze to death out on the ice. Who is going to be taking the first watch? There's going to be 3 watch periods.
I would take a watch, but I'm not very good at the seeing.
I'll take first.
Gentle Step needs to take the first to keep the fire going.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I have a passive perception of 19, so I will definitely
Which
take a
means
watch.
nothing to characters.
I was telling you, Rob.
I know, you've already messaged me.
Oh, I assume that you don't pay attention to anything I say, so.
No, that's fair, but still.
Aw.
So, who's taking first, second, third watch then, please? First, gentle steps.
With Elkis.
Second.
2, Audrey.
Me and Elkis are taking first.
Anyone want third?
It's safer that
Celine
way.
third. Okay, first watch, gentle steps and Elkis. Can I get perception checks? You either can
No.
both make them or one of you with an advantage as you two stay up while the rest of them start getting their heads down and cast your eyes across the just blackness extending all out in the night.
Go on, Elkis. Rainbow it up. You have advantage.
Good.
And a reroll.
Well, if I tell you that the second roll was a bit shit, but it was 9 more than the first, that tells you something.
You got a 10.
Oh, you're all dead, really, aren't you?
So
That's what
we do have 2 rerolls.
We do, I know.
Who gave us
Okay.
the second?
Really?
That's
Yes.
Sawdust and Ruffworx.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where's perception gone? I'm going blind.
Pete.
That's how good my perception is.
What? Yeah, but what about Elkis?
Oh, 11.
11.
I
Okay.
don't know.
So, you two, you stay up for the first part of the watch. The fire keeps you warm. Like I say, it's a little bit more comfortable than the last time you were out here on the in the
I'm
wilderness.
telling Steve to keep watch as well, while he's still around.
Steve's gone.
Okay.
Is he, or is he still here?
So,
Does he get a roll?
Cousin Steve, make a perception check for Cousin Steve at a +2.
Wow.
13.
Sorry, +4. Perception's
Ooh.
+4.
15.
Okay. You send Cousin Steve out, and he kind of pads around, disappears into darkness, and does like a lap around. It's Vale's Cousin Steve. The cat vanishes into the shadows, and you kind of send him on like a patrol path around. Your watch, come the night sort of draws close to midnight. Your watch comes to an end. Cousin Steve does vanish. You see as they come padding back,
Oh.
watch seemingly completed, nothing detected. There's a sort of small puff of greyish arcane energy as the creature dissipates.
I salute him.
As we're passing over, I'll set up an actual campfire, ignite it, and then go to sleep.
Okay. Audrey, make me a perception check, please.
That is a 12.
Okay. Your watch.
You're gonna die.
Your watch passes. It's pretty uneventful. The weather stays clear. You see for the first time in a few nights, I believe, quite a nice starry night. The cloud does break, and it gives you this glimpse of the moon casting more light than you're used to. It's quite beautiful, and you spend your time kind of a bit stargazing, admiring the moonlight bouncing off the snow. And yeah, it is quiet, nothing disturbs you, and your watch does come to an end. The fire stays lit, and the shadows are casting and dancing onto the snow around you. Celine, last but not least, can I have a perception check?
14.
14. again, similar for you. There might be a passing comment about how nice the night is, and you're used to being out kind of under the stars. But even by your, it's nice by the ones you've seen. The moon is not quite full. It's probably a couple of days shy of being a full moon. Stars sprinkle the sky. Kind of that perfect, untouched, fresh drift snow that's kind of lit up, and you see kind of the little sparkles as the moonlight reflects off.
Rob,
Yes.
I just need to make a request to chat. Can somebody clip just what Hannah was doing then, please? Carry on. Carry on, Rob.
I wondered how long it'd take you to make.
Mate.
It look like it's not that sort of.
Don't do it.
Clip that now. Get that on. That's the clip you want.
Clip a ball.
Somebody clip that.
Clip a
That's
ball.
what we call a career ender.
Or start.
You're a
Everywhere,
beginner.
Everywhere Gaming will be releasing their Lonely Hams site shortly after this stream.
Say Lonely Hams, what?
I'll be
I
up
don't want
there
to
for
listen.
that.
It's fair. So, as far as you guys, Celine, towards the very, very, as I'm going to say daybreak, the Icewind Dale daybreak, as it starts kind of that lighter grey starts creeping around and the moon disappears from sight, you do spot far away. You don't know exactly in the miles. You're not quite sure the exact distance, but it's in the distance.
It's in the
You see a very, very faint but persistent light.
It's the sun.
Not in this dale, it ain't. It's
I'm like, oh.
brighter
hello,
than
Loke.
anything you've seen. You're almost it's too bright to be a lantern. It's not a star. It's not the moon. It's not the sun. It's this stationary, bright source of light far off in the distance.
Is it green?
You're asleep, Dylan Steps.
Just a light. Yeah, well, the question would have been
Is
like,
it green?
It's
like just bright white light, or
Yes, it's similar to the one. In fact, I don't remember if Audrey saw it. If all of you saw it, you've seen it. I think. Yeah.
we
is
did
that
all see it.
Was that all of you or just Audrey?
Yeah.
Outside the town.
Yes.
Outside the town.
Yes.
It was. I saw it, and someone else saw it. We all did
I saw it too.
perception checks.
Cool.
I saw it.
It's
I'm asleep, so.
it's
That's
very similar.
right.
It's that's very similar. You probably it reminds you of the one you saw in the town or by the town. It's just this very in the distance, unnaturally bright, far off, and it stays for maybe 10-15 minutes or so. It doesn't seem to be getting any bigger, doesn't blink, doesn't change, and then just as quickly as it arrived, it just vanishes.
The same light that we saw last time appeared at the same time.
No, it was the evening last time.
Okay.
It was evening. You guys were on the way back to town before you got your night's rest at the Northlook. No, sorry, this is when you stayed at your house following your meeting with Valine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that kind of takes the last 15 or so minutes, and as that kind of light vanishes, and you're like, "Did I see that? What the hell was that?" You can hear the rest of the party kind of starting to come to, and morning does arrive.
What direction was this light again and everything from the path? Because I just hopped in game, so we're going on this path too.
Sure. So
Yeah.
you
Light was
get the feeling the light is you're heading towards the mountain. So the Calvin's Cairn is
I know where it is. Yeah.
that's kind of a northeasterly direction. This was more east. It's in
Okay.
the same general cone of where you're coming from, but kind of off to the right a little bit. You're heading that way, but not directly at it. If that makes sense.
Someone the
I
group
appreciate
wakes
that
up.
was an awful description of location.
Well, at least I know on the map like where it is. I'm like, dude,
So,
it's there.
mountains at 12 o'clock. Light was at kind of 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's still better than West Haven all the way in the east.
West East Haven. Yeah, that was a blind, that wasn't it? I forget if you're traveling from East Haven anyway, you're heading west. Okay, so the rest of you, the morning does come. You kind of the fire is in its final stages, kind of burning itself out. There's this few low-lying flames flickering on the kind of bits of char that remain, and you all kind of come to and sort of see Celine perched up on a rock or something, just sat kind of blurry-eyed, finishing up the last period of the watch.
Morning.
As Vale sort of comes to and you see her sort of sit up, she has two little horns just behind her ears.
No longer smells of cinnamon.
Today's gift. Yeah, no longer smell of cinnamon, but yeah, two little horns just behind her ears.
He's gonna turn around to the group and watch them wake and wait until they're all fully awake, and then she will call them over and mention the light that she saw. So you guys remember that light we saw the other day towards the evening? A singular one that wasn't really twinkling or anything in the distance? Anyone?
Just before we went into Brinch and Dar.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the same one.
The same direction?
Yes. It's a bit odd already.
Was it green?
Twinkly.
No. It was not green. There was no twinkle, just solid, and made no sense. Not a star, nothing I've ever seen. Not a fire.
Hmm.
Vale, anything you've ever noticed in your trails?
I've only seen the light once before we went into Brinch and Dar, so no, but it's definitely something to, I guess, keep an eye out for if it starts becoming more frequent or closer, or you know, we get nearer to it, becomes more prominent, we might be able to check it out. But if it's just like a passing sort of light with nothing tangible to move towards, you know what I mean, it's a bit hard to check out. But maybe we can find someone that knows more about it. Remember to ask someone if they've seen it.
Do you think witchy lady, do you think she watches us through anything that creates light or something?
Wait,
Looking at the owl,
yeah.
and I don't think the owl could follow us this far.
She said she was watching us
But maybe.
all through his travels. So she might be up there somewhere.
Keep an eye out on it again.
Maybe, yeah.
Dusk and dawn.
Or
Well,
maybe
let's have
someone else watching.
Right. You know when we left her house?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she sent me a message saying, "Be careful of the powers you mess with." And that has concerned me.
I mean,
And I've been
we
thinking
know
it.
what powers you're messing with.
So he's gonna sit there and think like the cauldron?
I have a suspicion that may be completely uncalled for.
Huh?
I think she is a follower of said deity of mine. And I think there is something not right going on there. But I don't have anything concrete. I just don't feel like things are correct.
Who is your deity?
I mean, we know who you're messing with. Like, we know, and that message was specifically for you. So surely was she not just warning you off the Frostmaiden?
But she didn't have a blue tongue, if I recall.
Blue tongues aren't a necessity. Like, oh my god, I can't talk.
Stick your tongue out.
Necessary part.
Thank you. Of the, you know, yes, the cult of the Frostmaiden.
I guess anybody can be, and we wouldn't even know.
You know this brotherhood that's going around. Who are they in support of? Do we know?
Themselves.
We'll find out eventually.
it's got to be some higher power there. Like, yes, man is great at what they do, but if something as lucrative of being bestowed powers upon for little to no work is there, who's to say that they haven't thought about partaking in that? And it was made very lucrative for me by the Frostmaiden. So who's to say that they're also okay with that?
They probably are typical
Well,
humans.
they
They're
might
always
be,
seeking
but-
some power.
That's not, that is, at the moment, that's neither here nor there, surely. If we know that they are getting their power from somewhere, we don't know what yet, but, currently we've only just found out that all the stuff that we know about the Brotherhood of the Arcane, we've not even scratched the surface of what we know about them. And currently, yes, they probably are getting their power from somewhere. They, one of the, what's her name? The lady in the hut. I can't remember.
Witchy lady.
That
witchy lady,
bitch. Yeah.
She said that the person that stole the professor orb didn't she say it became powerful very quickly or something? They didn't seem to study as much. So maybe they have made a deal and got their power from somewhere. That's, something we can look into when we start looking for the professor orb. But currently, to do that, we need to go and see Macredus.
Again,
With
humans
that in mind,
looking
my
for
book's
power.
cold. Shall we go?
Yes.
Walk and talk.
I think we might find some answers.
I'm 280
in that prison.
feet ahead of you.
I just don't think that she has the same motivations that we do.
Well,
No, I'd be very surprised if she did. She wants to essentially have the highest power to do whatever she needs to do with the professor orb. Like, we don't have the same motivations as her, but we share a motivation in that she seemed to be truthful in saying that she wants to help 10 towns, and that is why we decided to help her. We don't know what she's going to do. We don't know if she's going to backstab us. We don't know at the moment, but we're not going to know until.
I just think we should be cautious about her definition of help 10 pounds. But that's neither here nor there. Like I said, I have no evidence towards it. It's just a gut feeling I have. So, shall we pack down camp and move on?
yes.
I'm running after gentle steps.
Let's say for sake of expediency, you guys had this chat on the first half of the morning's walk.
Cool.
That's okay with the players?
Whilst on this morning walk, I would like to go into the grey bag of tricks and see what we're throwing out today.
1d8 me.
Something out one day.
1d8, yeah.
I knocked the dice out of her hand.
Ooh. Have we had a 2 yet?
A 2?
Yes, we have had a 2. I get a rat again.
Your ratto reappears in the little familiar, almost like plume of grey smoky energy.
Celine's gonna nudge her and be like, I haven't had a chance yet. Can I try?
I could do with losing this rat. Yeah, sure.
What
And
do I
again, I'll hold out the bag. Keep holding on to it, not letting it go.
1d8,
roll?
please.
1d8. Where is my d8? I don't know where my 8 is. Let's just roll it on here because I can't find my
12
d8.
sides end.
Huh?
It's got 12 sides end.
That's not a 1d8, that's a 1d20.
Here's a d8 of 4. We had a 4 before.
Fua.
4.
I don't think we have.
4. No, we have not. So you throw the small ball of fur on the floor,
Woolly
and
mammoth. Woolly mammoth. Woolly mammoth.
there is a
woolly
flash of greyish energy, and there is a Arctic white, heavily tusked boar, probably standing
close.
similar inside the height of Elkis, or similar size to the panther, just a little bit more squatter and a little bit more sort of muscular. These 2 big curved tusks come up from the front, we're extending about 7-8 inches either side.
We've got a reroll
That's
from
fine, it's gross.
Thunderwolf, who's just started following. So thank you very much, Thunderwolf.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thunder.
Free real.
Thunder! Thunder!
And this
Upon seeing the ball, Adri just kind of nudges Val and goes,
Bacon.
you know how we said dinner?
So he's gonna turn to them and be like,
Look, you cannot be okay with it. With
Fluffy
a boar,
pig,
but
no.
not let me eat the ferret.
Slene's gonna go up to the big fluffy white boar and just guzzle him in the head.
And we shall call you Pumbaa. That's fine.
I think that's a copyright problem. Disney are pretty
Yeah,
heavy
Come at me,
handed with that.
Disney. Come at
Come
me.
on, Disney!
Fine.
You know what?
Roll
My
initiative.
lord.
Let's go, Disney.
My lord. Weakness.
Warthog, it's fine.
Wake. The boar
What shall we
basically
call
it,
him?
it kind of it nuzzles back towards you.
Cousin
And lets
to
out.
know. Sorry, carry on.
Well, that's the ferret. I'm going to replace ferret with meerkat. And the boar kind of pads next to you, and it kind of brushes up against your leg, and yeah, it follows you. Kind of looks up at you expectantly, and as you head off walking, it follows.
Every couple of minutes, I'll just nuzzle a little head. Fluffy pig.
But the rest of the morning passes without incident. The day's clear, a little bit grayer. The cloud coverage has come back, and before too long, you do spot in the distance what appears to be a darkened wooden structure. And as you approach, you see a cabin that is raised about 20 feet off the ground on thick wooden support. It's like stilts.
It's Baba Yaga.
And you can see
I was going to say, oh no.
the cabin itself is up against a drop into a valley. And part of the cliffside is kind of broken away over time. Part of the roof is kind of rotting away. And it's just this very, very dark brown, almost black timber structure on the edge of this precipice, just silhouetted against the white of the sky behind and the snow around it.
Oh, McCready's a man who likes to live on the edge.
Oh.
Rocks fall.
Lee would
Elkis
just be like,
dies.
I throw myself under the rocks.
the pig just makes a snorting sound go.
And then the boar copies.
Yeah, you think that any path or any access route to this kind of ramshackle retreat is long buried under snow. There doesn't appear to be any footsteps. There doesn't appear to be any clear path. You're probably about 10 minutes away at this point.
From where we are, does it look like there's like steps up to the hut from the?
Make me a perception check as you guys continue heading closer.
All of us?
Well, Vale's the one who said they were looking.
22.
22.
18 plus 4.
So as you approach,
22.
you approach from the south side of the building, you see the building itself is L-shaped, with the kind of sticky out L part, the side you're facing. You can see a snow-covered walkway that clings to this side of the structure, covered in the kind of snow drift and ice and stuff that's collected over time. The building itself, it's almost like it's slumped over. It's like a slump posture, almost like it's if a building could like just give up, it looks like the building's given up. The roof kind of dips in where the snow's cleared and the weight of the snow pushing down. You see a number of the windows that don't have glass or kind of jagged shards where the windows have broken. Shutters are flapping and loose against the wooden frames, and it just suggests absolute abandonment. There is a large snowdrift that kind of build up against these big stilts underneath where the snow's built up against it. And between you and the house, there is a woodshed and an outhouse.
When we're within 60 feet of everything, I would like to use my divine sense. I am the divine sensing machine.
Okay, remind me what that detects.
Celestial fiend undead within 60 feet. Not
Celestial,
behind
fiend, and undead. There is nothing that triggers your spider sense. You feel
When
the
we're,
connection to the sky above, and you kind of feel that surge of power, and it pulses out from you. Nothing comes back.
Do we have anything that she gave us from people that stole the stuff from her? We have nothing, like no piece of fabric or anything, or no item? 'Cause I was thinking that I'll have the pig kind of sniff it and go kind of look around in a circle.
This is map guy, isn't it?
We're looking for Macredus. We're not. This isn't. This is just a person from
you're
Bridge
thinking of Elaine's
Okay,
artifact. Yeah, no, that's you guys are well, you were looking for Matreus.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Matreus. Macredus, who's the cartographer.
Do you have anything from them? I'll send the piggy out just to. I'll tell it to go see what you can find.
Kind of snorts off and kind of pads forward and starts rummaging around and kind of starts snuffling in various banks of snow and kind of up against the wood shed and kind of goes about his business. Doesn't seem particularly drawn to anything. It just kind of starts exploring around.
Did you say it was 20 feet off the ground?
Yeah, so there's these kind of icy steps that go up like a walkway that then go around the south side of the house, where you can see up on this wall, there's some doors and windows up on this walkway, but the whole thing is 20 foot off the ground and the steps go up, kind of up to its level.
That's fine. I'm just gonna, with my climbing speed of 20 feet, I'm gonna scamper up the side, up the wooden holes.
There's some normal steps if you want to go up the steps. You don't have to
Yeah,
climb
I was trying to be cool. I haven't used my climbing speed yet.
Okay, make a.
I only found out I had it last session.
Make an athletics check for me.
Well, I thought I wouldn't have to do that with the climbing speed.
Climbing speed makes you climb quickly. It doesn't make you better at climbing.
Well, it just meant you can climb.
You can still fall quickly.
Unnatural 20.
Okay. Yeah, it's fairly easy for you. You're very dexterous. The claws bite into the wood and you scale up and, very quickly, very agilely, you kind of scamper past the boar and you find yourself on this wooden balcony. From this vantage point, you can see two doors seemingly leading into the interior. You look down and you can see some of the wooden slats are missing. Some have rotted through. And maybe 10, 15 feet to your left, you can see where the rocks have crumbled away and that the edge of this building and some of part of this walkway do hang precariously above what appears to be a very severe drop.
Been empty for quite a while.
Cool. I'll wait for everyone else to catch up. I'm not going to go in yet. I'm just going to hang around on the outside a bit.
Looking around this amount of snow and everything, you just kind of gauge that has been touched or.
I'm going to stay outside on the floor.
Can I see anything from a higher vantage point if I look around the sort of area? Is there anything that sticks out?
Make an investigation check for me.
Nat 1, 3.
No, you can't.
I'm
just looking at my eyes shut. Like.
You're not proficient with your eyes. We had this conversation.
Got snow in her eyes.
So yeah, the rest of you could attempt to scale the 20 foot up the wall, or you could take the wooden steps, go to the right hand side of the building, take the steps. Think of it almost like a wooden fire escape. Up to the building, and then everything's on the upper floor, if you like.
Steps, please, because not dexterous.
So you those who want to, you head up these kind of stairs. You have to hold on the balconies, a little bit of ice underfoot. You make your way around this kind of rickety wooden framing. You have to hop over a few little gaps where some of the slats are missing, and you can see towards the area there are two doors. One of the doors is about halfway round. The other door is right at the end of this kind of wooden gantry.
I'm going to take that one and do the door right at the end.
Door right at the end.
I'll follow her just in case she isn't running into it.
Gentle steps. What are you up to at the moment?
Probably staring at us all.
Okay. And Elkish, you staying down bottom?
Yeah, I'm going to check out the outhouse. And did you say there's some kind of shed?
Yeah, it's like a little wood shed, if you like.
Are they in a safe, away from the edge area?
Yes, they are. They're about 40 feet away from the cliff edge.
I'm going to go check them two out.
Okay. Make me an investigation check, please.
That would be a reroll.
An investigation, all right.
18.
18.
we
Okay.
got 3.
The woodshed,
For one now.
you managed to. The door opens
Got 2 now.
against where the wind's been hitting. The back half of it is kind of built up snow. The front half seems relatively sheltered, which is where the door is. And as you pull away, the door kind of cracks, and it's like that almost like water soggen wood that gives a little bit. There's a lot of flex, and it's very, very like mildewy and sodden through. And you pull it open, and there is a very small stack of almost forgotten about firewood. It looks like it's been cut or it's been split and stacked up, but has since been soaked through, and you can see kind of a little bit of this dark mold starting to eat into the bottom of the wood and it rotting through. The outhouse itself, you'd have to spend a few minutes just clearing the snow out from front of the door and kind of dig the door out a little bit should you want to investigate that. So
Yep.
it'll take you a few minutes.
Yeah, go for it.
Meanwhile, back up on the walkway, just before you get to the door, there is a fairly sizable gap in the walkway that looks fairly easy to just hop over, about 4 foot wide gap. And Audrey, it's just like you kind of step over and you look down, you can see it's you get a little bit of vertigo. You're not quite over the edge of the cliff, but you're almost there.
Okay. I proceed
Celine's gonna
through the
hop
door.
over. Oh, never mind.
Okay, so Audrey hops over. How much do you weigh, Audrey?
You can't ask a lady that.
She's an elf.
Weakness.
In pounds.
Whatever you want. I've got a converter.
136.
136.
Yeah.
I need a dexterity saving throw, please.
Just carrying some holiday weight, okay?
B7.
Oh,
Everybody else
oh.
is dead on the
Reroll. We have a
floor.
reroll. Use the
We're
reroll.
not on.
We have
No,
2 rerolls.
Use the rerolls.
Really?
We have 2.
I thought we can use it on saves. And that is no better than 8. I'm going to use the last one.
You've used them. Elkish used one of them on the investigation check.
We had 3. We had one from
Oh.
Ruff, one from Sawdust, one from Thunder
Oh.
Person.
Yeah.
Thunder
So
Wolf.
that's
A 19.
Oh, thank God.
it took you 12 dice, Hannah.
A 19. As you hop over, one of the lats gives way, and you find your feet catching nothing but air as you stumble over the edge and fall off the wooden barricade.
How fast can I
However,
grab her?
Wait for the monologue.
You land, you fall for what feels like an agonizing amount of time. The 20 feet onto the snowbank below. You take
So
2
19.
points, 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you land bodily onto the broken timbers and snow about 5 foot away from the edge of the cliff.
Okay.
That'd have been.
At least I'm not over the edge of the cliff right now.
Celine, you kind of notice now where the boards have rotten away, and you can get to the door with relative safety.
An Adric ship's hull. in
Just
the
out of
snow.
like both panic and anger, looks down and goes.
It's just like your
Your
heart is just
goes,
in your throat, Arjun. You're like, look
Idiot,
over
what were you
and you're like,
thinking?
oh, that's a long way down. Oh.
I just shot myself.
How's about you let first up and she'll throw her down the rope that she's had for a while from the avalanche days. And lead us around you, come on. She'll throw down rope and
The avalanche days.
yes. Since then I've had rope all the time.
I
Baby last time.
climb the rope.
Yank her up.
Just take the stairs.
You managed to pull yourself up. You seen after the disruption and the area that's kind of broken away is the air that's broken away. What remains is kind of a little bit more sturdy, and you feel it's gonna, it feels a little bit more sturdy underfoot, and you think the worst of it is past in terms of the ricketiness.
Still gonna feel a bit questionable about being in here, but I'll do it.
Going forward, Celine's gonna go first, and what she'll do, take her lovely long sword, just hold it in her hand, and pretty much if she sees something in front of her that looks shifty, she's going to poke the sword at it first to see if
Fair.
it goes through.
So you pass the door about halfway round, and you enter the door on the far side, which takes you in to a bit of a sight. The room contains lingering smell of charred wood and flesh. You also catch that faint odor of kind of like a fruity alcohol, like a red wine kind of smell drifts through.
Wicked.
Snow's fallen through holes in the roof and just kind of had its own little localized piles within the building, and it's been kind of pushed around. You can see where the wind's been blowing through the broken windows, the wind patterns of where the snow has been. The walls, the furniture are all scorched, heavily black in soot, including a table with the charred remains of a book. Next to that table, on the floor, amid several broken wine bottles, is a mostly incinerated skeleton and a round, frost-covered object about 6 inches in diameter.
Sorry, you broke off. Did you say round?
I did say round.
Okay.
Not oblong, it's fine.
She'll look down and just put her hands like on her side to go. And she'll just kind of tap the skeleton just gently with her sword, just kind of like, just to make sure that it's not going to wake
you
up.
Poke it and it kind of creaks and part of the arm snaps and falls off.
Oops.
It's quite
Put her
brittle.
sword away. Well, it's not like it was more damage than he or she already has gone through. You think this is them?
So, Elkis, are you still outside?
I
Yeah,
am.
you're looking at the outhouse. So eventually you dig into the outhouse. Make an investigation. You made a good investigation. You find stacks of discarded
Frozen shit.
notes and blueprints. The majority seem to have been used for not reading material in the outhouse, should we say.
Oh. Is it?
What?
Wow. I'm
Looks
gonna.
like they've been used as loo roll or as waste paper, and there's just reams of discarded notes and fairly accurate mechanical drawings that are just
Covered in shit.
yes.
Is there any clean ones?
You want to make an investigation check on that?
Are they in the shitter or are they on the side? Or
Both. It's excuse the pun, a bit of a shit house in there.
Oh, does
I
that?
would.
Oh,
I would like to
does
the
that?
cleaner ones stacked to the side rather than the ones in the hole.
Yeah, okay. Make an investigation check.
15
Minus 50 for fuck's sake.
minus 1, 14.
It's not particularly pleasant, and the smell kind of long since left to fester human waste. There's a few bits and pieces in there that are clean enough for you to have a look at.
Are they in? I don't know many languages. Common or Elvish?
They are in common. They are in common.
Oh, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Make me a Arcana
Common.
check.
Arcana. Wow. I don't think Elkis has ever done an Arcana check. 17 minus 1, 16.
Have you got any
Okay.
pluses?
You spend a few minutes looking through the paper. I'm assuming you step out of the outhouse to do this because it's
Yeah.
and you have a look.
Noxious
You see mechanical drawings around a gyroscopic device. It's seemingly a mechanical device used to interface with magic. For what bits you do understand that sort of within your remit. Are you proficient in Arcana?
I'm not.
No, but you rolled high. Okay, so
You got a
kind
minus
of-
one.
yeah. So the layman, the kind of the bits that stand out to you is there's a lot of mention about not being people who don't have magical capabilities being able to open that potential to them, mainly around spells that change the weather and ways of manipulating the weather through magic. And it seems that this gyroscopic design is a way to interface with magic where previously you wouldn't be able to.
Oh.
Meanwhile, back in the house, what's everyone doing?
Where are we, Vo?
Aside from poking a skeleton to see if it's undead.
Where am I?
So Celine's in the building. I'm assuming at this point Ardry's
Celine's
climbed
in
back
the
up.
Yes, she's back up.
Have you
next to
all
me.
entered the building, or some of you still out on the wood and balcony?
Wherever Vale is.
I think we're out on the balcony.
Okay, Ardry, where are
So
you?
did you say there was 2 doors?
Yes, there is another door about halfway round. Like
Audrey's with me in the house.
for,
We're looking at the skeleton.
there is another door
Just-
on the wooden side out.
Can I try that door?
You may. The door is open.
Nice.
Well, the door is unlocked, I should say. The door opens.
Welcome.
So
Go in.
you push the door open, and there's a kind of a scrape of ice on ice, and you hear like cracking noise as the ice breaks, and frost covers the inside of this room. You see on the far side a single window long since blown out, which is letting the cold in. It appears to be a workshop. There is a bookcase in there. There are a few scraps of paper and sort of some other bits of debris all around. There's a few bits and pieces across a table. Looks like some tools and bits and pieces. Meanwhile, so you and Gentle Steps are currently in the workshop. Elkis is currently reading papers next to Lou, and Ardry and Celine are in the main room of the cabin. Celine and
Skeleton.
Ardry, what would you like to do while you're in there?
I'm gonna turn around to her and just go. You think it's him?
Maybe. Is the skeletal structure human-sized or smaller?
It looks human in size.
Looks human in size. Quite possibly, but the question is, what's that thing? And points to the frosty orb thing.
I was kind of hoping that you'd know, but I'm gonna look around and look. Like I know the whole room is burnt, but is there kind of like anything? Sometimes when stuff like burns in place, it'll kind of still like resemble something.
Yeah,
like
so the
book or
room
whatnot
itself takes
before
up
it
this.
disintegrates.
This is the quite easily takes up the majority of the space. You can see 4 other rooms branching off from this one. One seems quite small in the corner, to your immediate left. There then seems to be a door directly opposite, and then 2 to the far right, within this space.
And they're all open. The doors. We can see through them, or
They're closed.
'Cause-
They're closed. You can't see through them. No, but and in terms of the, like, I guess try and spot
Fire
a
damage?
pattern within the fire damage. Cool. Roll an arson investigation, I guess. Roll an investigation roll for me. Takes me back to uni. This is weird.
Celine, the insurance adjuster.
What? Latin?
13, huh?
13.
Wait, I got that really slow.
It doesn't make huge amounts of sense. Whatever caused this was hot enough to scorch the building, but not enough to destroy the building. And it looks like the outside of the house didn't show signs of burning, so it doesn't appear that the structure was alight, or otherwise it would have been a lot more damage. It seems something was localized to this room.
If everything's burnt around, I'm just gonna tell Audrey that I'm just gonna go check in the rooms real quick, just to open them and see if anything's inside, anything that we can identify this person.
Okay.
Because I haven't spoken to anybody outside yet, so.
What would you guys like to do? We're going to bounce between the 3 groups at this point.
Bonfire.
What?
What?
So, Ardry and Celine, what would you like to do? You've had a look around. You've determined that.
I'd like to open door number 1.
Okay, we'll come to that in a second. Elkis,
Ah!
what would you like to do?
Go one up.
I'm getting a bit nervy of them all being away from me now, but I'm also worried about the actual building. I'm going to head towards the stairs.
Okay. Vale and Gentle Steps in the workshop. What would you like to do?
Each other. I will stand on the balcony and hold my arms out.
Okay.
Shout, I'm king of the world. What are we doing out here, Bill? Muddy over
Roll
to
an
Banshee
avalanche
eyes.
check.
Answer that.
Wash the whole building off into the gorge.
I'm kicking the wheel. Oh shit! Never let go, Vale. Never let go.
I regret nothing.
There's not room on this door.
I'll if there's a window, I'll breathe on it until it steams up and just go.
You just melt everything.
So what are you guys doing?
I think only I got that reference.
I got it. I just chose to ignore it.
It's all right, I've clipped it. It's coming out.
I want to have a. Is this room like scorched? Is it?
It is not.
Okay, so can I have a rifle through the things? Like a workshop, any tools or stuff that might have been in the process of being worked on, etc.
Sure. You see a set of smith's tools, a set of tinker's tools, mixed with what appear to be scraps of twisted metal and shaped metal, kind of arcs and rings.
Shaped like
It looks like
armor, weapons, jewelry.
None of the above. They don't look like any jewelry or armor that you're aware of, and they don't look complete. It looks like they were partly forged or partly machined pieces of whatever that were left in a state of production. But there is a set of smithing tools and a set of tinker's tools should you wish to
Take up a new career.
procure. Meanwhile, back in the house, Celine, you head over to door number 1. Make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No, it's not a nat 1. It's 10. No.
Did you just say
Okay.
a nat 10?
Yes, a nat 10. It's a 1 with a 0, so it's
Technically, all the numbers are
A
nat 10.
10. So you
Oh,
head
natural.
over to the door
they're
in the
not, actually.
corner, and as you walk over there, you kind of
Wow.
realize, due to like the nature of the house, and you must be pretty far over at this point towards where the precarious ledge is, where you watched Ardry fall not too long ago. And you head over to the door, you hear a creak, and you kind of catch it a little bit too late as there's a splintering sound of wood as your foot goes through the floor.
Fab.
I knew I should have taken feather fall.
Angle.
Okay.
Just-
So, what did you roll?
a 10.
And how much do you weigh?
Oh,
290 pound of elven steel.
where's my weight? Because weight carried is 110 pounds. Where's my actual weight?
Okay, if,
It'll
you've
be
got
in the
110
description.
if you've got weight carried 110 pounds plus your weight, you're over the threshold. Don't worry. Okay, so Audrey, you see Celine's foot go through and see her weight start to shift forward as she's in the process of falling through the floor.
Use
Eldritch Blast.
Use your strength, Adri. Use your strength.
Use the
What
force.
strength? What strength? I will.
Audrey, what are
I
you
will
doing?
attempt to
Quick,
roll.
quick. What are you doing? What are you doing? I can't hear you. You're clipping your mic.
You're so loud, you've broke
Mike's
your mic.
clipping.
Rushing me. I grab her.
I'm not rushing you. She's falling through a hole in the floor.
I have like a big,
I
big hood.
So
grab her.
what's going to happen next is Elkis,
They start going down
Vale,
like
and
this.
Gentle Steps. You will hear a crack and a splintering of wood.
You hear
And
a
a
clap,
I
splintering
would
of wood.
like Celine and Ardry to have an opposed initiative roll to see if Ardry can get and react quick enough before Celine falls through the floor.
How do you do that?
Roll your
You
initiative.
both roll
That's
initiative,
roll initiative.
and you would very much like Ardry to roll higher than Celine.
I love you, Ange.
Oh,
Ha-
you want to use that reroll?
It's all
know,
gone.
you've used-
They're all gone.
We don't have any.
What
Oh,
did you
they're
roll,
gone.
Celine?
Don't have any rerolls.
Hannah used them.
So, Celine, you're rolling to see how
Fucking
fast you
kidding
fall
me.
through the floor, and Ardry's rolling to see how fast she tries to grab you.
can I see the
21.
foot?
21. Oh, jeez.
Natural 21.
Audrey, what did you roll?
19 plus 2.
You can't
Audrey.
roll above a 5 for 16
A 5.
sessions. The one
Okay.
time you need saving, you roll
Alright,
a 21.
Hang on.
Can I see the foot?
No, because you're on the stairs at the other corner of the building, coming up to the building.
But he hears me going. "Yeah."
Just gonna look at gentle steps like.
1 second, I need to go online and get a dice roller.
Because Celine rarely yelps out for anything, so even the pig at this point is probably like, huh?
So,
Like
you
Thunderwolf, but it's
basically
not
your
enough to save
last
their souls.
your vision goes through 3 things rapidly. You see Ardry dive towards you, arms extended. You then drop through, and you see Elkis walking up some stairs at the far side of the building. Then nothing of just rock as you tumble through the hole in the floor off the side of the gorge into the ravine.
Oh.
Might be more than 20 feet, Celine. Do me and Vale
How
see this?
fast, when I'm falling, can I pull
But,
out my
like,
ice pick?
Oh, thank you, Thunder. You've got to re-roll, but it's too late.
You hear the crack and you hear the smash. You guys are in the other room.
Are we not on the balcony?
No, we're in the room.
Okay.
In the room, yeah.
What can I ask? What your total HP value is, please, Celine?
Can you remove all of it?
My total HP 40.
Wait. I have a question.
Go on.
Yeah.
Could I theoretically?
This is a push.
On
Remember,
a
you
4.
you rolled a quarter of her initiative.
A 5th?
Yes.
She rolled a 5th.
If you say mage hand, Hannah, I swear to God.
No.
Say something now with a bit of urgency.
Eldritch Blast.
No, it wouldn't work. Fuck.
Celine,
How
you
fast can I
fall.
grab my ice pick out?
You had a
Because I'm
dexterity.
speedy.
You had a dexterity saving check, which you failed. You had a reflex from Ardry, who had the option to do anything, tried to grab you, and didn't react quick enough.
Which failed.
You fall over the side of the ravine and fall the best part of 120 feet down into the gap below. You take 52 points of bludgeoning damage as you plummet off the ravine and fall unconscious at the bottom.
Wow.
Did I hear the scream?
You heard the sound barrier being broken.
You heard the crack. You hear the crack of wood, and you don't know where it came from.
A
But
short
making
yelp,
you're outside. Make
and-
it a perception check, because you may just see the glimpse of something falling.
Just complete silence for Elkis and just this body in the distance falling down.
15.
15. You hear the crack, and you hear the noise, and you hear probably Ardry let out a yell. You don't see anything.
Oh, shit.
52, you said, right?
Yes.
I know the
Yes.
general direction.
Here we go, kids.
Ooh.
Right. Can we start reacting now, Roberta?
Yeah.
I'm going
What's
to walk
that?
towards the cliff edge
Adri?
underneath the thing.
Celine, Adri, hello?
Currently, the only one who knows anything. Celine can't talk. She's 120 feet
That's,
away.
then she don't answer. I'm still going to shout, Celine. Celine,
Floating down
Adri.
a river.
So we heard a crack. We heard a crack in the floor, so I'm going to come out and go in. And did you say Adri yelled?
Yeah, you'll
Actually
see
made a
Ardry
yelp.
probably on the
I
floor,
screamed.
arms outstretched, just like.
Okay, so I'm going to go into that room, and what do I see? I see Adri on the floor over
You
a
see
hole.
Ardry, yeah, basically.
Look through the hole. Can we see
Okay, so
Celine?
I'm going to go down the hole and climb
Wait,
20 feet
wait,
down.
wait. Look through the hole first to see if there's any way you can climb down 20 feet. Can we see Celine? Is it a straight drop, or has she
It's a
bounced, tumbled?
It's a make a perception check.
Can we see the crumpled? Not 20, motherfucker. So 22.
You look through the hole. You see.
I can
in the
see my
very
dead
distant
friend.
below. You see a small dark outline, 120 feet below you.
Rope, no. I'll go
I
50
give
feet.
him all of the rope that I fucking have.
We
How
start.
much
We
rope
start.
do you have?
We have at
I've
least
attached
two
the rope round me and start
because we
giving
use them to
gentle
pull the
steps.
cauldron. So we've got 100 feet of rope at least.
Well, I have
I'm going to
50
start
feet.
attaching the 100 feet of rope to me, hand the end of it to gentle steps, and
Okay.
start climbing down.
I'm
Okay.
gonna act as an anchor at the top.
Okay.
Nobody else
I
get
will
on the rope.
I will say, gentle steps. Make me a strength check to see if Vale gets advantage on the climb check.
Strength check.
Yes, please.
17.
17. Okay, you grab the rope, loop it round, tie it off quick, lean into it best you can. As Vale, with sort of
Goliath.
proficient in kind of these sort of rescue style mountaineering stuff, very quickly throws it under the thing and then immediately starts rappelling off the side. Vale, I need you to make me a I'll say an acrobatics or an athletics check, your preference, as you are a very unique creature skilled in this sort of
Mounted
fighting.
area. Just try and keep it in a straight line.
We do have a
This is
reroll
like
now
worse
as
than
well.
At this point,
BBG.
Celine, I need you to make me a death saving throw, please.
Fuck my life.
All right, Jesus
Literally, at this point.
Well,
17 for the first acrobatics check.
Okay.
What am I rolling? A 20,
A
right?
D20, and you
Yeah.
want 10 or higher.
not on that
Oh,
one.
10.
A
Oh,
10.
that's a success,
Okay.
that's a
You have
success.
mark a
Natural
one.
10.
Mark one success. on
Nat
your
10.
death saving
Nat
throw.
10.
Vale, you
You go, girl.
you start abseiling down 120 feet. What is your climb speed, Vale?
20 feet.
20 feet per round.
It's per movement. So if
Well,
you-
no, my movement speed is 30 feet, but I have a 20-foot climb speed.
Yeah, because normally it'd be half to 15, but you
Okay.
can climb at 20.
So it's going to take you 6 rounds to
technically
climb
dash.
down.
Let go.
If you're dashing, it'll take you 3 rounds to climb down.
Yeah, I'm going to dash. No, I'll use an action to...
I will say that because of your background and you're on that roll, you don't have to make a climb roll each time, but it is going to be 3 saving checks on Celine and the time it takes you to speed rappel down.
Bring me the bed.
Fine.
It's okay.
So Celine,
Oh,
need
I
you-
have. Very good. Oh, no. That's in initiative. Tony's just put in the chat. I have a thing that says in initiative I can move double my speed, but it says during combat. So is that not?
The problem
I'm
is
guessing that
the
doesn't
problem
apply
is
now.
so it's the feline grace. You can use it, and
Yeah.
then I
but
think-
then you're slower afterwards.
Yeah. yeah.
So
Feline
it would
adjust-
still take you the
So
same.
when you move-
You'd either do the first half really quick and then slow down, or you do the whole
No.
thing at steady pace.
No.
Is it on?
It's you can double your speed till the end of your turn. Once you use this trait, you can't use it again until you have moved zero
Zero.
feet. So I can still move normal speed. I just can't double my speed
Ah,
again
okay,
until
okay,
I've moved
okay.
zero. So I can.
So your
I
first
can
round,
move double
you could-
one turn and then normal the rest.
So you could move in the first round 80 feet. So
Is
it'd
it
be-
called Feline's Grace? Or
Yeah.
So it'd be 2 rolls for
Feline
speed
agility,
instead
feline
of 3.
agility.
So you'd get there in 2 rounds instead of 3, unless Rob says
whoa.
otherwise.
When you move on your turn in combat, you can double your speed until the end of a turn. Once you use this trait, okay, I'll say you can. So it would be 2 rather than. So I need
Rather than
2
3.
death saving throws from you, Salim.
Everybody blow on the dice. Come on now.
Jesus, come on.
Hannah, you're up.
I'm gonna use that reroll.
Can you
I'll
can't use
you-
them on death saving throws.
I
Oh,
can't
use
use
one
it on
death
death
saving.
saving.
Oh,
Can't.
What was it? What'd you roll?
That one.
Oh, that's
That's-
2.
Okay,
on
that's
this new
2.
one.
Hang on. So that's 2 fails, 1 success. I need you to make me that second death saving throw. please.
Oh shit.
One more death saving throw.
You need a 10
Yeah,
or more.
so you roll the nat 1, which makes you have 2 fails. So
Mhm.
currently you have 2 fails, 1 success, with 1 more roll to make.
16.
Fucking
16.
Jesus Christ. Vale,
That's a
stabilise.
success. So you have 2 successes and 2 fails.
Vale, you're there.
Being
It's
funny.
the 11s.
Am I
At
there?
this point, Vale, you get to the end of a 100-foot rope. You're currently 20 foot at the end of a rope above Celine.
Um,
You just got to
How
go.
is that?
I
And she has
start to
potions.
untie the rope.
Let go.
Just let go. Just free fall.
Yeah, I let go, untie the rope, and just fall.
Take the hit. 20 feet ain't knocking you out. Unless Rob rolls like 400 d10. No, fuck
Awesome.
it.
Literally just chuck.
I do have a, can I
chuck
climb?
potions at me.
Can I climb the last with my climb speed? Climb down the last bit with pitons or something?
I will say,
Be a roll.
I'll say because you will have to make me another dex or acrobatics check because you're no longer using the rope and you're not at
Acrobatics.
advantage anymore because you haven't got gentle steps able to assist.
11 plus 4, 15.
Okay. I will say yes, you able to reach the bottom. You see the very unmoving body of Celine kind of 2 inches in the
Cure
snow.
wounds.
Cure wounds. Okay.
Yeah.
How much is that?
D8.
1d8 plus my
Okay.
spellcasting modifier. So
Wisdom.
2. Yep.
Okay. How much is that total?
Shit.
8.
The bed.
8.
You were
Okay,
that?
Celine, you gasp as your aching body regains consciousness and you gain 8 hit points. Holy fuck, guys! You want to cut that any closer? That went down to
No,
one.
please. I can't deal with any more.
So,
Ooh, that was fun.
so I jumped into the icy water for Elkis, and then down a cliff face for Celine.
That nat one though. Oh, that got spicy, didn't it? That did. Cool. Right. So yeah, you're down. You guys up top. You see Vale just disappear into down the side, and you see just a dark figure below.
Celine's just gonna look at her and go,
With
just
the
try
shouting
to
and
break a
carrying.
smile. This is the second time Vale saved her, right?
Is it?
This
Yeah.
is the second time Vale saved her.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. You owe her your life.
She'll just kind of like grasp for her hand and just
What?
squeeze her.
Out of curiosity,
Paw.
what was Celine thinking for 120
Get up.
feet of nosedive?
Because we've
Like,
still
oh,
got to get back up
swims.
yet, Celine. So
I
believe brush it off.
I can
So,
fly.
At this
this
point,
point-
well, have I caught up with them?
Yeah, you can now be in the room if you'd like, and you see the scorched interior of this room. You see the bits and pieces that everyone else has seen. Can you make me, Elkis, just make me an investigation check as you come in, because you've not seen this room yet.
Not 20.
Well,
Boom. Okay, so you spot everything that everyone else spotted. You also spot something additional. You see, and it's hard to see because of the charring, you see on the wall, on the table, and on some of the burnt robes of the remains of the skeleton, a similar symbol of this runic stylized sun that you saw in the temple. It seems to be a large amount of paraphernalia and iconography for the Morning Lord.
I'll tell people that once we've got everyone back in the room, I'm going to go brace or help for gentle steps brace on the rope.
Okay. Are you guys going to climb back up, I assume?
Oh, because whatever stayed there in when they come
Well,
back up, they
currently
might
the
need
rope
your
is-
divine light.
the rope is 20 feet above us.
Well, you can get
Celine,
to
do you have any rope on you?
I do, and she just kind of like cracks the rope that she used earlier and just kind of
Wait.
shiftily takes it to her.
Elkis, do you have any more rope?
I'm just looking. I do.
Drop
I
it.
have, I have an extra 50 feet of rope.
Let's try that on.
Okay, over the next
Okay.
few minutes, you see the rope lower itself down as you're rummaging through Celine's pack. Like, where the fuck did I put that? Oh, okay. Solves that.
I'll
save-
shout down one at a time.
I'll say for the sake of expediency in
I'm
the
just gonna-
situation, you managed to pull them back up without further incident. Elkis, on your nat 20,
Mhm.
I will also add that similar to the balcony before, you see kind of the outline of the wood rot where the area fell through. And that does seem to be the extent of the structural weakness of the building. The rest of the
Same stay.
build, it looks solid. Looks like it will support your weight.
I'm going to point this out to gentle steps as we're tugging on the rope.
By your weight, I mean gentle steps as weight and everyone else. Like, I know using you as a bit of a
I like this.
measuring device on that is not the best.
whilst
I
he's
don't know,
pulling
man.
it, whilst I'm tugging on the rope, I'll be like, who
Tugging on the rope.
yeah, who builds a fucking house on a cliff?
That's why I didn't want to come in here. But yeah, that's why. That
Why do
that
you
could have been
stink
me.
of shit?
I needed one, and there was an outhouse.
You shit on yourself.
I'll explain later.
Oh, okay.
Adrian is gonna kind of go and distract herself and go look at the frosty orb.
Who came
Uh,
up first?
What would you like to do? Sorry, Audrey.
I'd like to investigate the frosty
Celine,
orb.
I would have said Celine that.
Okay, make me
Just like
maybe an
slowly
arcana
just-
check. What are you doing? Just having a look at it and seeing what you can make of it.
Yeah, trying to figure out what it is.
Okay, make me an arcana check, please.
Natural
Well,
20, 24.
Oh, wonderful.
We're wasting them all at the end of the session.
So you pick it up.
Boom.
It's about 6 inches in diameter across, and it's made of 2 concentric rings pinned together in a gyroscope formation. In the middle, there seems to be this chunk of ore. It's got these veins of almost like a rose gold running through it. And when you pick it up, you can feel this warm tingle. And this, it's very pretty. It's like this lovely marbling of this rose gold, like marbled through it. And that's then pinned in place of the first ring, and then the second ring's pinned to the side, so it kind of spins freely. You see around these rings are a series of runes inscribed around them. And as you start looking in your hand, that golden veins, the tingling, it gives off a very soft, almost like candle flame, just golden radiance in your hand.
Do I see it from where I am?
Make a perception check for me.
12. I think that's 11.
You see Audrey looking at something. You can't really see what's in her hand from here. Okay, so Audrey, while it's in your hand, it starts glowing like as bright as this candle flame, and you can see the runes. What language did you speak, please?
All of them.
All of them.
Of course. Let me just check what.
While you're checking, as Celine comes over like through the hall, and she's just survived a 120-foot fall face first, I go, Elkis, you need to go see Celine. Go see Elkis.
So as you look and you see they are in an old dwarven runic system, quite an
I
archaic.
can definitely read it then.
Oh,
As you start reading it, this bright candle flame gets brighter and brighter, and suddenly there is just a blinding flash of light that emanates from this device as a
Everyone is
wave
dead.
of heat and energy engulfs the room.
stay down there, Bale.
I need
Get a new adventuring party.
Audrey, Elkis, and Gentle
No.
Am I
Steps.
reading
Celine's
this out
up here.
loud?
No.
Am I reading this
Them two.
out loud, or am I just mentally reading this? Because I have not chosen to
No.
openly say anything.
But it was in your hand, it started glowing, it stayed in your hand, you didn't let go, you didn't put it down, you kept it in your hand, which is what triggered the next stage.
The
Rob.
room was all burned. It was a
Celine's-
grenade.
Celine's in the room.
Rob,
Oh, so is it just
Who
is it
is
just
where?
Veil climbing up?
Yeah. It's just
Okay,
about
so
flying up.
everyone who is not on
well,
that rope
being pulled
climbing,
up by the rope.
Why are you?
I need everyone in the room to make make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh yeah, Goliath.
Secure the rope off. Do it now.
It's around my waist. I am the rope. Wait.
11.
Saving throw.
Yes, please.
Oh.
18. 15 plus 3.
17.
Ah!
So,
Just seeing
because
Ashley's roll pop up.
it's Karma Swift.
What did you get?
Can I just take a con check instead of a two?
Sorry, so just
Because it wasn't
sorry, what?
on
Sorry, give me a second. Elkis, what did you roll? Sorry.
17.
Okay, you pass. Veil, sorry, Audrey, what did you roll?
5.
the 5.
You did not. Gentle Steps.
18. 15 plus 3.
You pass. Celine,
10.
you do not. So,
Celine, seriously, cheat. For fuck's sake. Alright?
We-
Just lie.
we are going to be ending on a little bit of a cliffhanger, as
No, we are not.
a number
We
of
have
things.
6 minutes.
A number of things happen in a very odd order, and it's going to leave next week on a very interesting session. Firstly, those who I said fail, which is Audrey and Celine,
Why you do this to me?
you
Why you
take
gotta do this to me?
99 points of radiant damage.
99.
Both of you see this flash of blinding light and this overwhelming heat that engulfs the entire room. Veil, you feel the rope go slack as Gentle Steps and Elkis, you see Audrey and Celine
Incinerated.
scattered into ash across the room. However, Elkis, on your nat 20 before, you do spot very faintly on the table
An
as the
ashtray.
lights, you see one of the emblems of the Morning Lord emitting a golden light. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Do me and Tony, me and Elkis not take any
Oh, yeah,
damage?
sorry. No, you do. You take.
Do we
a
take
little bit.
half of that?
Yeah.
Right, well, I'm out.
Unconscious. I'm out.
So you're both unconscious.
How far up the rope with Vale?
Let's find out. Maybe a percentage check, Vale.
Is that
You
the
want
ghost
a-
with the zeros on as well? That one?
Yeah, that one. And
That
the,
one?
Yeah, the single
So
digits.
Elkis, you fall unconscious. Gentle Steps, you fall unconscious. As you both take
90.
90. Okay, so you are. Roll the other 10 as well.
Yeah, you got.
You're 99% off.
Oh,
So you
shit.
fall
Roll,
off.
roll. Hang on, roll the other D10.
You roll.
No, I
is-
jumped.
is that-
Roll the other D10. Shut up, everyone, please. Vale, what's the other D10?
A D10.
That's your 10.
Three.
Ain't it? What your unit? 3. So that's
93.
90. You are 93% up that rope. I need you to make me a dexterity saving check. As the rope gives, do you grab on?
We have one reroll left.
We don't.
Oh, thank
Look.
God.
I thought we did. We have
Yeah, because someone gave it to us
Guys,
when
can you
Celine fell.
keep
Who's
it clear? Let me do the DMing, please. Vale, what did you roll?
18. 12
18.
plus 6.
You feel the rope go slack, but
You go blind.
you're the fact that you're very agile, you're fast, you're a mountaineer, you're used to, you kind of almost, I think, you latch on and you manage to pull yourself the rest of the way. And as you pull yourself into the room, you see Elkis and Gentle Steps, charred, burned, on the floor unconscious. You do not see Celine or Audrey.
Can I act now, or am I saving that till next session?
You may act now.
Cure wounds on Elkis.
Roll it. How many spell slots do you have?
I've got 3. I've used 1.
I'm guessing you can just fire it on both of them, yeah?
Well, I'm going to hope Elkis has got some power for gentle steps, or himself, or themselves.
Okay.
8. 6 plus
Okay.
2.
8. Well, fuck.
Elkis, do you have power, or do you want me to do gentle steps?
I'm good. I'll grab Gentle Steps, who's pretty much next to me, and I'll pump in 15 HP.
Ah, pumping. Nice.
Pumping
So-
with my nasty hands.
15, did you say?
15.
The light of the nature magics that Vale brings Elkis back around. Elkis, you then channel your Saloon's energy into Gentle Steps, and the burns are pulled back, and you both kind of awake with a gasp. The 3 of you look around the room, and you don't spot Audrey, and you don't spot Celine. The last thing Gentle Steps, you and Elkis saw were just this blinding flash of light and heat, and what appeared to be them to just incinerate to dust.
Oh,
And we will pick up next Friday.
And we're part of Rizzler.
So, thank you very much, those guys in the chat supporting the campaign. All the more reason to tune in next week. We'll see what happens from here. There is a few bits and pieces. There might be, we'll see.
We shouldn't
Should
have made
be,
the Titanic jokes.
one to tune in for next week. I assure you, it's going to be an interesting
I would.
session next week. But yeah, thank you very much. If anyone wants to support, thank you for the re-rolls. Thank you for the support of the channel. If you want to support Heavyweight Gaming, have a look below in their socials. Give them a like on Facebook, YouTube. If you want to watch the old stuff, check out the rest of their schedule. They've got games running throughout the week. And if you're interested in what we're up to at the Short Rest Tavern, we have our own Twitch.com/the Short Rest Tavern, where we're currently playing through Candlekeep Mysteries on a Monday night. And we've got the last Sunday of the month, I'm going to be joined by the ever wonderful Gentle Steps, losing his guys and being 80 for a change, where we're going to be doing our first episode of Beards and a Brew, where we're going to chat about all things DMing. First episode is going to be the last Sunday of the month, and we're going to be talking about life as a DM on Twitch, and what we like, dislike, and how we approach it differently
And it will be
in front of an audience, and how the community. Yeah, it'll be on Short Rest Tavern, but you'll be able to, be able to check it out, and basically the option for us to take questions. Yeah, this first episode is all about us basically chatting about what it's like to DM in front of an audience, in front of a community, changes, how we approach it, and usual banter, we'll assume.
And how they survive the revenge of their players.
So, thank you very much tonight's game. I'm going to have a chat with Audrey and Celine in private for next week. And unless Gentle Steps has anything to add, we'll leave it there then.
Smoking!
So for 3 of the 5 of you, say bye-bye, players.
Bye-bye, Hannah. Bye-bye. I made players. Love you all.
Celine. Bye, Audrey.